Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages, in the interest of the new YouTube channel, I'm calling a motherfucker out. Denzel Washington, I'm coming for you, bitch.
Okay. That man chuckling in the background is the last standing Simone. Big Rig, Nick Utam.
I got 10 on Dion. That's all I'm saying.
Would this be considered like a Mandingo fight?
Oh, going historic.
And finally, American Ramrod, Kendo Slice.
Go Chiefs, and I want to call out the last standing member of the Kent family. Nick, it's me and you, buddy.
Did you see that somebody made a meme of that, Nick?
Oh, I did. And I laughed my ass off at it. I loved it so much. I was like, somebody actually made it. I was so happy. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you for whoever made that. It was, yeah, that was really good. I really did enjoy that because like I saw it through my feed and I couldn't stop laughing at it. It was just
well. If they're listening, go ahead and tag me in it because I want to see it.
Okay, fair enough. So, folks, this is episode 202 of World Class Bullshitters, and tonight we're going to be talking about, well, the title: James Bond can't be a woman, but he can be black. So there's some new news, some articles that came out from Barbara Broccoli, the producer of the James Bond franchise, the role that she inherited from her father, Cubby Broccoli, who bought the rights back in the day. So yay, nepotism at its finest. And if you don't like the modern James Bond, you can blame her. But we'll get into that a little later. First, we have to thank our newest patron, Drew North. Thank you very much, Drew, for joining us over on Patreon. And tonight on After Hours, of course, we're going to give you a bonus podcast, and we'll always have tons of stuff to talk about. So, folks, you just missed a 7 to 8 minute rant about Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. Dion and I were putting work in, and nobody got to enjoy it except you two.
Just warm up, boo.
As long as I got to hear it, that's all that matters.
I mean, that's pretty much our daily lives where, like, one or two of us cut a promo in the middle of, like, our messenger thread, and the only people that'll ever see it is just the four of us.
Well, that's the beauty of it. So, real quick, I also want to give a special mention to our friend Rob from Midnight's Edge. He turns, I'm not going to tell his birthday age, but tomorrow's his birthday, so he is celebrating that. So from all of us here in the
96.
Yes, he's 96. Tears. He's going to cry. Cry.
Birthday hazing on the horizon, motherfucker.
That's right. One spank for every year.
I know, right?
Gonna dress you up like Wesley Snipes and Demolition Man with some overalls and an orange tank top. And you're gonna be like, "Say Simon Says, happy birthday, motherfucker."
Can we go to Taco Bell?
Yes. Dion, that's your Halloween costume this year, okay? It's Demolition
Holy
Man.
shit, dude. You are a genius. I'm just gonna lose a bunch of weight so I can get as close to Wesley Snipes as I can. Blackest motherfucker on the planet, and then just find a blonde small wig and then just scream Simon Says a bunch of times at people until they get the goddamn reference.
I thought you should.
We're just gonna go ahead and make that happen.
I think it should be Simon from Die Hard 3 instead.
Ooh, that'd be even funnier. Who are you? I'm a black Jeremy Irons, bro. I'm a soldier, not a monster.
That's right. So walk around eating hard-boiled eggs, telling people that you gotta take the safety catch off.
Asking for aspirin. You got some aspirin?
Yeah.
Isn't that how he tracks him? He tracks the aspirin number or whatever?
Yeah.
At the very end, yeah.
Because he got it from a hotel over in Canada or something.
Yeah. He looks at the cabinet. Yeah. In Canada.
Ah, Canada, the white wilderness.
That's right.
So
The Great White North.
I actually watched Die Hard 2 the other day because I always tell you I hate it so much. I still do. Just saying.
It hurts me that you hate it so much, which I get because, like, as much as I love it, I get why people don't, because it's essentially just the first one in the airport. I understand that, but it's still so fun. And then you get what's his nuts doing fucking randomly naked, sweaty ass Tai Chi in a hotel room, which every time I see that, I bust out fucking laughing. And then you get the fucking head of the airport police, the captain of airport police,
Dennis Franz.
Yeah, an incompetent asshole for 90% of the fucking movie, and I fucking love it. And then of course, James Amos gets sucked into a goddamn airplane turbine. What's not to love about it?
Yeah, I mean, I love the movie. I can see its flaws, but I will still watch it with no complaints.
I love to. Not as much as
definitely.
It's better than 5.
Oh,
I'm not not going to argue that. Come on.
I like it better than 4.
I don't.
Well, I do. So
I do like
impact.
it's close for me for the 2. I like 4 a lot. 4 gets shot on unjustly too, but which pisses me off because it's like people argue about it's old man versus the internet. It's like it's
of course it is.
Why don't you want to see Bruce Willis get frustrated by the internet? There's no way you can tell me that him covering up a camera and being like, "Can you track it?" And Timothy Alpha's just like, "Just because you cover the camera doesn't mean that I can't hear you." Like that's a
that's real life occurrence that happens every day across America.
Old people do that shit all the time. How do you not love that?
It was really good. I just wish they didn't. I wish it didn't happen during the whole PG-13 thing, and they did the unrated DVD, and it had only like it added more blood when that guy got eaten up by the turbines, and then he finally said "motherfucker." I was like, why did you save that for the DVD? Like, I get you want more people to come watch this, but this is retarded.
Yeah, this should have been theatrical. Plus, when he's just like, "I'm gonna go get my daughter and kill this motherfucker," or "kill this motherfucker and get my daughter," and then there's like that second pause. I'm like, why wasn't this in the theatrical cut? I would have laughed my ass off at 18 years old.
Because it's PG-13, bro. We got to get all them tweeners in there because they're diehard fans.
Yeah, because they're gonna come watch the movie anyway.
So
they're huge fans.
So speaking of laughing and dying hard, do you want to hear something really weird, Kendo?
Sure.
So have you ever heard of an actress named Julie Strain?
She was that chick that was in that movie that came out last year.
Yeah, Navy SEALs. No, Julie Strain was a B-list actress.
Right when you said that, Hillary trips over the couch, so she falls, and you go, "Yeah, Navy SEALs," and I'm just like, "God damn it, y'all making me laugh in this motherfucker."
I can see you, Dion. I can always see you.
Oh god.
Yeah. Oh god, that's right. So no, all joking aside, the Julie Strain. It was reported that she passed away this week. Until she actually hadn't died.
Oh, nice.
Don't you love when that happens?
Yes. I do love when that happens. It's like, hey, this person died. No, I'm alive. Here I am. Hi.
Well, at least the internet decided to fake the death of somebody that you kind of wouldn't notice. So it would fly under the radar instead of like, the usual, we're just going to go ahead and claim that, Keanu Reeves died, and then you see all the RIP Keanu Reeves, and it's like he ain't actually dead. It's just a hoax. At least with that one, it's like that'll fly under. That's one of those ones that in the Deadpool, somebody be like, "I had Julie Strain and she's dead." I'd be like, "Who the fuck is Julie?" Okay, well, congratulations. Here's your points, and then I have to rescind them.
She's a chick on the front of the Heavy Metal 2000 movie cover. Like she's that chick.
Yeah, she was also married to Kevin Eastman, who was the co-creator of Ninja Turtles. So,
okay,
yeah,
bully for her. Well, at least she's not dead.
No, she's not dead. But I thought that was kind of interesting for you, Kendo, in your Deadpool game. What happened?
Unless she is dead, but then she came back and she's the undead.
Okay,
cool.
There's no more room in hell, so the dead shall walk the earth. Is that what you're talking about?
That's right. They walk amongst us. Hide.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come where you are at Camp Kendo, and everything will be okay.
We shall ride this out together.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we'll have a pint and wait for this whole thing to blow over.
It's kind of warm though.
So speaking of coming, Anyway, let's talk about this for a quick minute because I thought this was the most important thing we could cover this week.
Oh my god, I kept hearing about this. Holy crap.
So a lot of people that are listening to the channel go, "Why are you talking about this? This is James Bond in the title." Yeah, it's called the pre news. So the thing is, we've been reading Goop.com on the podcast since way back in the day. It was one of the earlier, I think that was one of the first consistent segments we had, wasn't it?
Yep.
Sure was.
Yeah, Kendo would check the inbox for Goop news.
It goes to the spam folder now.
That kind of makes me sad.
It automatically just goes there too. I didn't check anything. I didn't say, "Well, this is spam." It just automatically Goop goes to the spam folder.
I mean, if there's one website that deserves to go on a spam folder, though, it's probably fucking Goop.
So, yes. So Gwyneth Paltrow this past week sold a candle that smelled like her lady regions, and jokes on us who thought it was the dumbest idea ever. It's sold out.
You gotta be shit.
You know who bought it though?
It's sold out.
It's sold out. The same people that bought it are the same guys that were buying that fucking chick's bathwater.
Oh god.
So they're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna buy this candle. I'm gonna light it up, and it's gonna smell like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. I'm gonna fucking crank one out so hard." Dude.
Hey Jeff, are there any numbers on the candles and the quantity and the price and all that other shit?
Let me look, but I'm gonna go no.
Okay,
There's-
because
There's like variants to those candles. Like
Listen,
you can get you can get the Gwyneth Paltrow candle. They also have fresh out of the shower, right after the gym. They have the limited yeast infection version, and then there's the red menstrual one. But you don't want to light that because it will attract bears.
God damn, dude. This is the darkest fucking timeline. It's times like this that make me wish her dad were still alive, so we can like send him a letter and be like, "Hey, could you tell your daughter she's being an asshole again?"
or can you just put her in like a straight jacket and take her to the crazy farm already? Like she's nuts. We know. Just take her there.
She might be the greatest con man of the 21st century because that shit is. There's no way she believes any of this shit. She's just like, "Oh, dumb people's gonna buy. They're gonna buy this shit."
Oh God, remember the stickers?
Oh God.
What were they? They were like they were taking their stickers with certain powers on them, and they were like NASA approved or something like that. And even NASA's like, no, we never approved that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was like NASA technology or some shit like that. It was weird.
Truve or some Thrive or some shit. And she was like, I mean, I think Thrive is still around today. That's a separate fake ass sticker thing. But I remember, that was on Goop, and she's like, yeah, it'll give you energy and help you it'll eliminate your need for coffee and shit. I'm like, fuck you, Gwyneth.
I would have loved to have been there for the meeting when they're like, Gwyneth, what are we gonna do next? Guys, I have it. We're gonna create candles that are scented and they smell like my giner. We will sell loads. And everyone's like, oh fuck, the company's going down. And then they sell out. So now it's been like, vindicated. And everyone's gonna be like, "Oh wow, the Giner candles by Paltrow are just flying off the shelf." Well, let's go ahead. Let's get a bunch of other people to sign on to this.
Can we get a commercial for that, please?
Well,
Giner by Paltrow.
Here's the only if you narrate it, Nick.
I'll do it. I have no problem doing that. That'd be great. That'd be good. Good PR.
So one of our listeners in the Facebook group actually came up with another idea, or this same idea, talking about other actresses who need vaginal scented candles. Would you like me to read some of the names?
God, yes.
Yes. I want to hear the Giner line.
All right, here comes the Giner line. So first up, we have Smellin' Mirren.
Oh God.
Dion just bought 50.
Oh, he might buy this one too. Dame Judy Stench.
Oh yeah, he's got that one. Pre-orders. We've been shipping cases of these to East Lansing. Why? I don't know.
Cases, really?
My personal favorite is Fanny Lennox.
No.
Oh God.
That's a winner right there.
We also have Smelly Furtado. Whiffy Goldberg.
Oh God, no. No. How to clear out a room. Light up the Whiffy Goldberg.
Sandra Buttocks.
Oh, I mean, that one I might buy.
This is another personal favorite of mine, Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'd watch that movie Her with a hell of a lot more fucking insight.
And then, Dion, we're going to end with your personal favorite. Even though you don't know what it is, I'm going to speak for you since I'm your best friend, Sigourney's Beaver.
Oh. That sounds about right.
Another case. The middle of Michigan.
It just smells like success and experience.
And aliens.
Yeah, I was
gonna say it just smells like whatever they spray out of their mouth.
I would just be like,
it smells odd.
She'd be like, "Get over here, you bitch." I'd be like, "Yeah, I will, absolutely."
Sigourney Weaver vaginal candle now with extra xenomorph goof. Oh, okay.
So, Nick, to answer your question, the candle was $75. It's titled "This Smells Like My Vagina," and there was limited to 2,000.
Shit.
And
so wait, did you how much was it?
$75.
You gotta be shitting me.
It's almost worth buying just to see what it's just as like a
$150,000 roughly.
But just to be like, all right, so here we could do it like for the channel, be like, all right, so we're gonna light up the Gwyneth Paltrow Giner candle.
If they were still available, I would have taken tonight's super chats and bought one. Seriously.
Well, we'll just wait till the second run.
I'm gonna be. I don't know if I can wait till Horror Hound to burn the candle because I'm gonna be like, I have this thing. I have to know.
Can
I've
we
seen
burn it
Iron
at both
Man.
ends?
Well, I gotta know what pepper pot smells like.
Yeah, I do have a logistical question though. How did they, get that fragrance? Like
They
Did she
called
have
up.
to,
They called up a
You
perfume
know how.
company.
You know, there's no reason to even fucking think about it.
Well,
you know
the
exactly
question
how they did that
I was
shit.
thinking, I was like, does she is it like some kind of weird thing where you just like stick it in there and like hold it for like 4 hours to let it like
All of
absorb?
the above. If she probably brought her dirty fucking panties in. You know how they did it.
Yeah,
We
she's
don't even-
she's like
we don't
I.
even-
She
it's
was like I
Gwyneth
did.
Paltrow.
She's like I did CrossFit for a week. Here you go. Take these.
It's like a bad skit. Like, Gwyneth, how are we going to set these candles? Watch. Oh,
Do you think this will be
All
on South Park next week?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
it's coming. You know it's coming. It might not be Gwyneth Paltrow, but it'll be somebody maybe that they hate and be like, all right, so here's how she's making her scented candles. Right in the cooter.
Mm.
Oh God! But I wonder if it's going to stir up on other celebrities or female celebrities to make their own candles as well.
You don't even have to finish that sentence because you know the answer. That is a resounding yes.
How many Instagram models are going to do this?
All of
Think
them.
about this.
All of them, dude. All right, so here's the evolution of all this, and just points to the society we live in.
Go! I want to hear this.
We went from just looking at porn stars to the whole vaginal like creation pocket vagina things to the fleshlights. Okay, I can kind of see that. Now we've got women selling their bathwater and vagina scented candles.
And don't forget that
like-
there were people that were selling their spit.
Oh yeah,
And
then
used panties is already
Yeah,
a
I was
fucking
gonna
market
say,
from porn
yeah, I was
stars.
gonna say the used underwear and everything. It just why
Now listen, don't
I
get me
don't-
wrong. I'm all for it. Listen, if you want to get your nut, you go get that nut, son. Do you. But $75 motherfucking dollars for one candle for it to smell like sweat and self-indulgence, that's fucked up. That is snake oil salesman at its fucking primest.
like, I mean, I can understand the practicality of the first two things I mentioned, but I don't really see the appeal to a whole lot of this stuff. Obviously, there's a market. There's a lot of sad, lonely dudes, and well, get a little confidence in a haircut and a bath, and maybe you could actually touch a woman. But
Don't give them that kind of
Still.
false hope, Kendo. Jesus.
that's true. But at the same time, like, how do we know for sure this is what it smells like? I mean, is there a certificate of authenticity? Is it,
Well,
dude?
you could ask the guy from Coldplay, Chris Martin, if it's accurate.
Oh, okay. Just call. Like, hey, Chris Martin. Hey, smell this. Does that smell familiar to you? Have you smelled that before? Does that smell like apple? No, bitch lied.
God.
This is Courtney Cox's China.
Ugh.
Oh God!
Throw it down.
Hey,
nobody
listen,
wants. Nobody wants
You know
a
that
candle.
candle smells like $20 million a fucking year. I'll tell you that shit right now.
The Courtney Cox candle would smell like a former WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
No, it smells. It smells like burning pickles and sadness.
I'm gonna puke.
You're
I-
welcome.
Well, at least they went through the front door and not, the
Anyway.
back door smell.
For some
Like, I
reason,
had extra Taco Bell for this candle.
so guys, I have some late breaking news. Should we just jump into it right now? It's not a
Let's do
joke.
it, baby. Let's do
Sure,
it.
let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's
hit
do it. Let's do it.
I'm trying to change the title of the show, but I can't. So anyway, Taika Waititi is in early talks to develop a Star Wars movie.
Oh,
Oh.
come on.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
So, Taika Waititi, director of Thor Ragnarok and Jojo Rabbit, is in early talks to develop a new Star Wars movie. Variety has confirmed. There are no further details about how far those negotiations are with Waititi, nor what his involvement might ultimately be. But hot off of 6 Oscar nominations for Jojo Rabbit, Waititi is one of the most in-demand filmmakers in the industry, and Star Wars is Star Wars. So there we are.
That doesn't mean much. Like, if Kathy Kennedy's still in charge and everything, she's still gonna like nickel and dime the bastard. It's like, oh yeah, you make your own movie, but I get to look at it first. It's like that doesn't mean shit. Like,
Well,
I
I was
don't know.
gonna say that. Plus, I mean, What other well-known or out there director in the last 3 years hasn't been linked with a Star Wars movie?
That's true.
It's like, oh, they're gonna make a Star. Oh, they're developing their. They're making a Star Wars movie. It's like, how many fucking Star Wars movies do we got going on at one time?
Well, and I think the other thing too, and listen, I get it. I guess he did, because what was it? It was episode 8, right, of Mandalorian that he did. Yeah, which that's hot right now, and I get that. I understand it. 8 was good. The episode 8 was good. I enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. I wouldn't say that that's the style you want for Star Wars, but not only do I agree with the fact that Lucasfilm is going to try and nickel and dime him, what capital do they have where a hot director is going to go and deal with Lucasfilm's bullshit? They cut the legs out. They're not giving anything to Rian Johnson, no matter what bullshit he's been saying lately about. They're going to talk to him about his fucking his trilogy. They cut off the assholes from Game of Thrones, rightfully so. They undercut the dude who was doing Solo. They randomly panicked and brought in Ron Howard to finish the fucking movie. It still didn't do well. What big name director wants to deal with their bullshit? If they bring someone in, and if it's someone who's worth their fucking weight in gold, they're gonna say, listen, I'll do this movie, but you guys have to back the fuck up. Don't come to me in the middle of the fucking movie wanting to make shit up. I decide what the fucking final script is. I'm gonna let the writer do their thing. No one's gonna want to deal with their bullshit. So them saying this, I don't know if they even have the balls or even the fucking wherewithal to be able to pull this shit off.
I just don't think.
I would like to think. I would like to think that somewhere Rian Johnson is sitting in like a room by himself playing with his toys, going, "I'm getting a Star Wars trilogy. It's all mine."
He probably is. He's playing with his Millennium Falcon. He's like, I'm gonna do it like this. This is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to get started. Just wait for that phone call.
Yeah, takes a big old drink out of his green, alien tit milk. And he's like, "That's so good. The Falcon's gonna fly in, and Han and Chewie are gonna be." And somebody's like, "But sir, Han is dead. We'll bring him back because no one's ever really gone." Like, okay, whatever you say, Mr. Johnson.
I don't think he deserves the name Mr. Johnson. Just saying.
Well, I mean, when you pay a servant, they have to call you that.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
no one else is willing to help him out or wait on him, so he has to pay for him.
I also love at the beginning of the article says he was nominated for 6. What's it, Golden Globes?
I guess Oscars,
whatever. Yeah, he is nominated. It's like we don't know if he's won yet or not. We don't know what's going on with that. So,
well, they trot that shit out there. Nominate, this film, this guy was nominated for. They never say who they lost to, but that motherfucker's got that part in spades, which is fine. Whatever. I just it's very dangerous to pick someone based on the hot commodity right now because people, like I said. People enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. No one's ever said it's one of the best fucking films in the fucking Marvel mythos. And sure as shit, Love and Thunder isn't exactly getting a whole lot of fucking praise right now. Right now, the only sure thing that he did that's good, it is Star Wars, is The Mandalorian, but that was a 45-minute episode. That, it's weird to see them still betting with house money when they've been hitting snake eyes the entire fucking time.
Plus, with that Star Wars episode, he didn't have anything to do with the writing, as far as I know. That was all Jon Favreau.
Right.
Yeah. All he did was tell them where to put the cameras and figure out how to shoot it. That's really what he did.
Yeah.
I had to look up what episode 8 was, the final episode. I didn't get to talk about this, I don't think, but I wasn't in love with the opening to the final episode of The Mandalorian. The parts where the Scout Troopers were trying to shoot at Baby Yoda and kept missing or whatever.
Yeah, I did love the Scout Trooper thing. It was like they were really leaning into the whole like these stormtroopers are morons thing. I loved it. I was just like, man, this is hilarious. I love all of this.
Well, Jeff, in terms of wrestling, they got really great heat by slapping Baby Yoda around, and he made you go, "I hope they fucking die," and then they did.
Well, speaking of wrestling, did you see we got the message back from Conrad Thompson?
Yes, I did. I was very happy for you getting that. I was like, sweet, Conrad acknowledged us.
Yeah. Hey there, Connie. Doop.
Hey, Connie.
So, yeah, I just wanted to break this news right now because the Taika Waititi stuff, here's the thing. We always talk about, Star Wars is over. Okay. Disney says Star Wars is over. We go, okay. And then, just joking, here's more. and we're just like, oh god.
Could you
themselves in the face?
Oh god, like Mandalorian ended, the trilogy just ended. Just like let it just let it not stink so much after like
when you are greedy, it is near impossible to say no. And at this point, they're greedy. They right now, Lucasfilm is not a team with a good enough record to go to the fucking playoffs. They're batting 1-4 right now. I mean, the only good Star Wars project right now is fucking Rogue One. Everything else has been bad. Even from their point of view, everything else has been controversial at best. They're greedy, and when you're fucking losing and you're greedy as shit, you can't pump the brakes. You want to put as much more shit on your plate, even though you keep dropping on the fucking floor. So, that's a tale as old as time. I'm not surprised they're doing this shit. I just, and I'm, hey, I'm not completely against this dude doing it, but I just don't think they have the fucking capital right now to make him sign on to it. Who wants to deal with Lucasfilm shit? I just think they've poisoned the brand so much. Now they're leaking directorial candidates, and I'm just like, yeah, you guys are fucking greedy as shit. I'm sure he's just like, yeah, no.
Well, the funny thing is too, like everyone that's championing this or people that are going to get excited over this. I'm not saying you're, anti-fandom menace or you can't be in the fandom menace or whatever and like this decision or not like this decision. My point is a lot of people were up in arms about Taika Waititi and his Jojo Rabbit movie. Mm-hmm. And they were all offended, and now they're going to be like, yay, Taika Waititi. It's like, you can't be both. Like, I haven't seen this movie. Isn't it meant to be just a joke?
Yeah. It is. It's supposed to be a joke.
If it's a joke, then it's a joke, and get over it. Don't make it a thing. It's. I don't know. Like you said, they're leaking this to try to build up excitement. It's like, hey, Star Wars just passed the $1 billion mark. You know what every news article is saying? Why did it take so long? What happened to Star Wars? Why is the brand dead? Not, hey, great job, another $1 billion picture for Disney. It's, oh, wait, we kind of fucked up. Why did it take so long? This is supposed to be Avengers level. Remember, folks, the Avengers ended in April. Star Wars ended in December.
Yeah,
Star
but it's
50 plus, almost 50, or God, 40 plus years. Excuse me. Avengers have been around for over 50 years.
Yeah, it's almost taken them a month to get to $1 billion.
Yeah, which is not a new lap. I guess it's a new lap record for them in terms of slowness. But hey, whatever. But yeah. Taika Waititi, I guess the chat seems to be cool with it, right?
I guess, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I mean, he's okay. I don't really see him as like this great filmmaker, director, actor thing. I think he's good at what he does. I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit, so I can't judge that.
Right.
But I mean, I'm okay with the guy. I have nothing against him. I think
there are worse options. That's what I would say to it. There are worse options.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I hope we get the Taika Waititi sense of humor that we get with, what's his name, Grog from Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck.
No, he won't, because Kathleen Kennedy will see that and then stomp all over it and just let it.
But again, he's not going to deal with that. He's not going to want to deal with that. So even if, best case scenario, obviously, they hire him, he finishes the movie with zero fucking interference. And I say this with 100% seriousness. Do you know how fucking hard that would be for Lucasfilm to pull off? So we're saying best case scenario is, I say, a 10% chance of fucking happening. There's no way that they don't have the restraint to sit back and let him do his job, right? Worst case scenario, they hire him, they start the movie, and they have the exact same shit that happened with Solo. And if he's doing a Star Wars movie, especially with them pumping this shit up from Thor Ragnarok and Love and Thunder, they're going to spend a lot of fucking money on it. So worst case scenario is they bring him in, he goes to do that his style that he did with, that's similar to Korg, and Lucasfilm tries to shut him down, he's going to fucking quit. And then you can't go and get Ron Howard again. I mean, maybe you can. Is he going to want to do this shit again? So you're going to waste another, hundreds of millions of fucking dollars. That's worst case scenario.
And then you're gonna have another Solo, which means you're gonna have to hire the director, and they're gonna do more reshoots, reshaping of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Spend what?
And the fans will be right again.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And they don't want that. This is fucking in Vox and Esquire and all those motherfuckers are not gonna fucking admit this. Episode 9 the way it as long as it took to get to $1 billion, it's not even close to Endgame, because they put that little thing out on Twitter where it's Iron Man taking the fucking lightsaber. They've admitted that it was their Endgame was a fucking thing. Episode 9 was Ollie coming back and whooping Joe Frazier's ass. That was a huge loss where they were the favorite. They had to fucking win it. We said this right before the movie came out. They had to do well. The chips were all on the table. They bet, and it came up Snake Eyes again. They cannot fuck this up. And I promise you, they do not have the personal restraint to not fuck with this dude if he makes this movie. I'm telling this shit right now.
They should just lean into their Disney streaming service and make more things like Mandalorian. That's what they should do. Lean into that. Keep that going. Let the movies don't do another movie for like 5 years, and just lean into your streaming service, because right now it's kind of dog shit, because you keep erasing things, putting them back, and then things are only there for like a month or so, and then they're gone. Like it's a weird thing, and there's very limited content on there as well. So I don't know what you're doing.
Nor do I. I'm glad I don't pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, I borrowed from a friend. I look at it every now and again. I'm just like, there's nothing I want to watch on here.
Well, my fucking wife pays for it, so I'm like she got the Daggers of Death, and then I watched Mandalorian, and my dumb ass got fucking honey dicked for sure. But I'm not against waiting 5 years. I think if they're smart, they did what original Lucasfilm did. If you want to come out with the movies, you wait 2 years in between the two of them. If you're gonna do another trilogy, fucking do it right. If you're gonna go with this dude. Again, I'm not 100% sold on it, but if you do it, you have to commit. Like Lucasfilm has to get back to listen. Making movies is a fucking risk, and if we're gonna fucking fail, we're gonna fail because we gave it 100%. We're not gonna fail because we're gonna pull a 20th Century Fox, which is fucking weird because they bought 20th Century Fox because 20th Century Fox was doing the exact same fucking shit. If they do it again. This motherfucker gets and I'm sorry, Latif, I don't mean to keep calling you motherfucker. My bad, man. But if this motherfucker gets a Star Wars movie, you are looking at another Fan 4 stick. Like that was the fucking it was 2015, but that was the beginning of the end for fucking 20th Century Fox, because they tried to come out with an X-Men movie and the same shit happened, and now you bought them. So it's not like you don't have the evidence in front of you. There isn't a dollar amount in the world. If I'm the hottest free agent in the directorial market, I'm not putting up with Lucasfilm's bullshit. You can go and do whatever you made some movie with a goofy ass name. You don't have to deal with that shit. And I just don't think that they don't have the track record right now. They're fucking forming. They just got their asses whooped by what happened with episode 9. There's no way in hell TV's gonna be like, yeah, I want to go work for those guys right now.
Isn't it awesome? We live in a world where $1 billion can be considered a failure somehow.
Yep. Yep. And this is the way they wanted it, man. That's the way they wanted it. We just want more and more and more and more. Where the whole industry, hey, if it takes you a month to do $1 billion when you have a property where you should have made 2, you have fucked up. You have cut yourself out of billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars.
Billions and billions with a B, bitches.
Yeah.
Also, what is it? New Mutants is finally coming out. They finally have a release date for that.
That's only taking 3 years.
Yeah, April 3rd, 2020. If that sticks.
Hey Nick, by the way, I saw your underwater movie you suggested.
What did you think of it?
I fell asleep.
So not much then. Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It felt, it was like, I don't know, there were a lot of those crazy underwater movies that happened during the 80s. You had Leviathan, Deep Star 6, and The Rift, and things like that. And it reminded me of that. It was just a lot of fun. It was real crazy, dealing with these weird underwater creatures, and like something shows up that's giant and huge and tries to kill everything. And it's just a good, fun, crazy monster movie in that aspect. Well, I really liked it.
I will watch it again when it's on streaming. I didn't dislike it. I just fell asleep.
Okay, that's fine.
So I didn't think it was crap.
Yeah. I also watched 1917. That was a lot of fun. I had to watch it. I watched it in IMAX, and it was definitely worth it. But the whole movie's supposed to be shot like one shot all the way through. It's insane.
That I do want to see.
Yeah, it's like just the technical stuff. I watched like a 4-minute YouTube video on like the behind the scene featurette, and I was like, they're insane, they're crazy, but they pulled it off. It was wonderful.
So let's catch up with the listeners real quick, and then we'll start talking about James Bond because I got a lot of shit to say about that.
Oh yes.
We've been having some, some chat in the chat about that too. So first off, American Trent 007 says, "No, Mr. Hicks, I expect you to bullshit." Well, Trent, I'm glad you're here, and you're going to get a lot of it tonight. We are world class after all, my friend. Tim Riggs is back. Thank you, Tim. Welcome.
Hey, Tim.
This
Miss
is
you, buddy.
nothing new. Women have had candles that smell like that going back to the invention of the God damn it. This is nothing new. Women have had candles that smell like that going back to the invention of the conveniently shaped candle.
Accurate statement. Why do you think there's a wick on it?
Say, don't lose it. And then,
That's right.
And then Tim Riggs also says, for Dion, the Lena Dunham sandwich candle. The Lena Dunham sandwich candle.
Sandwich candle, you said?
Yeah. Lena Dunham ham sandwich. Well, it's Lena Dunham sandwich scented candle. That's just for you, man. Oh, I can't even say that because I want
Special edition cake on a toilet candle.
She's your little cutie.
That's right. Little
Your
pound
little
cake.
Your little
One
cake.
goddamn time in your and Tyler, have you ever heard me say the
Dion,
phrase "my little"?
I've heard
cutie"?
you say more things about wanting to bang her than times you viewed Terminator Dark Fate. So shut up, okay?
Yeah, you have literally said, and that is why it's always quoted, she's a little cutie.
Listen, first off, I will not be slandered on my own show, sir. So
You can say it's you can
you-
say that all you
you,
want,
sir.
but we heard it happen.
Nope.
If anybody wants to send us the audio file of him saying that multiple times, we'll take it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody out there.
Don't make me go get Augs for President back and be like, yo, I
Oh
need
my
your help.
god.
Yeah,
Yo, is that motherfucker even still alive?
Yeah.
He is. He still posts things on Instagram every now and then.
Oh, dude, I wanted to
And-
give a shout out to one of our listeners at the beginning of the show. I even wrote it down. His screen name's The Healthy Man. He just graduated from the Marines. So thumbs up to you, bud.
Fuck yeah, good
Oh
job,
yeah, good
man.
for you, man. Awesome.
Congrats.
So next time we actually have to have our 2019 veteran stream, but when we have our next one, please join us. So
That's right.
but yeah, Lena Dunham, not so cute. Mark C says Julie Strain had a brain injury after falling off a horse in her youth. It has led to her having dementia in her 50s. She divorced Kevin Eastman in 2006. She has a book, 6'1" and worth the climb. Yeah, Julie Strain was a good-looking woman. I mean, I don't know what she looks like now. I'm sure she, whatever. But I did not know about the dementia. I
Wow,
just
yeah. I had no
died
idea.
impressive. Have you guys seen Heavy Metal 2000?
Oh yeah, it's funny when I watch it because like a lot of sci-fi movies that came out after that like really pulled from that heavily. It's kind of crazy.
I prefer the original Heavy Metal, but they're both kind of meh.
They're weird, man, but I do enjoy them. They are strange to watch.
Thunder Robot says, in order to avoid false advertising claim, did Paltrow do a public smell test done? If so, was it recorded for commercial purposes? And when's it there?
Hi, folks. This is Chris Martin, and I can tell you this 100% smells like her vagine.
We
Boy, Chris Martin here. It smells like her twat.
You, me.
That's actually going to be the next, single that comes off the new Coldplay album. Smells like her vagina, and it's going to be. It's just going to be him in a bathtub with like all those scented candles floating around it.
Just
my
staring
God.
up at the camera.
Would
Put
it
a pair of
be-
legs around his neck.
Yeah.
Would it be considered like chemical warfare if you bought a whole bunch of those, lit them in a public place, and just left them?
Yeah, it could be. It could be chemical warfare.
Yeah, it's probably a gray area. I don't think you'll be taken to the Hague and tried before the UN, but you might get called an asshole.
It does smell like asshole.
Yeah, just take them into an office building and just light them all up and just leave them there.
God, if only her dad was alive. God,
Man,
damn.
you smell that? It smells like a chick hasn't been bathing.
You joke, she probably doesn't.
Yeah, she seems like she's that kind of crazy.
Hey, who's been microwaving fish again?
We are terrible.
Have you been seeing the memes about it though? Like the fish on fire and a plate has been, this smells like Gwyneth Paltrow, the candle and shit. Have you seen that?
Oh, dude, I've seen them. Believe me, I've seen them.
It's been wonderful with the memes, like the little tuna can with the candle coming out of it. And I was like, this is hilarious. I love this.
I'm trying to come up with a way to like a portmanteau of smells like Teen Spirit and something with Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle. So
smells like Gwyneth's vagina. There you go.
Fair enough.
Smells like Goop Spirit.
Okay.
Dion wins.
Yep. You win, Dion. Tim Riggs says, Kendo, it doesn't scare me that people buy vag candles, bath water, bottles of spit, etc. What scares me is that those people breed.
Well, I would say that it doesn't necessarily scare me that those people buy that stuff. It just makes me go, really? But I honestly, if you're buying shit like that, you're probably not breeding.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, if you're buying that shit, you're not breeding. I'm sorry. If you to buy some Twitch chicks bathwater, yeah, you're not. Yeah, you have too much money in your hands because you're living in your parents' basement and you're working a crap job, and you've saved enough and you're just like, oh, I get to get this chick's bathwater. That's what you're doing.
I thought you was buying that shit. The dude that was on that reality show that helps people go on dates, and his name was Skippy, and he had a bunch of fucking t-shirts that he was making where he was be like, hey, want more Skippy? And it was just like this chubby white dude with glasses. That he's the one that bought probably 5 cases of that fucking vagina candle. That Skippy from a TLC reality show. That's who buys that
shit. Oh god.
Hey Gwyneth, want more Skippy? I bought 5 candles.
Now, folks in the chat, we're going to read the Bond super chats as soon as we do the Bond title stuff. So I'm going to read 2 more from our friend Air Destroyer, and then TLJ Screwjob, and then we're going to go right into the Bond segment. So first off, Air Destroyer sent in 2 giant super chats. Air Destroyer, thank you so much. We really appreciate that, especially when YouTube's been acting really funky. So thank you. Hey, Jeff, just want to show my appreciation for your content since the past August. I've been marathoning your podcast at work, and damn, I enjoyed every one of them. I caught up around the 190s. Can't tell you how many times I had to stifle my laughter in my cubicle. You introduced me to the Fandom Menace as well as EVS and Comicsgate, whose comic book I really was getting into. Thank you for helping me get through my boring days at the office. Here's to another great year. Air Destroyer, thank you so much.
You're the man, Air Destroyer.
Yeah, listen, spread around the office, and if I hope this never happens, I hope you never get fired. But if you do, put us on the loudspeaker before you day you get fired. Just put us up on the loudspeaker and just blare our show for all to hear.
We are funny.
You know what would be great is if we wanted to attack or invade a small nation, what we do is play our podcast on repeat and just have a whole barge of Gwyneth Paltrow candles just right on in. You think we could do it? Think we could take down a small country?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking at Fiji
go ahead and
right
become
now.
Some warlords in Africa. Just a big waft of Gwyneth's vagina smoke going over a small village. They fucking surrender in 2 minutes.
That's right. Angola, we coming for you.
We have to invite Nicolas Cage to live with us.
I think he'd do it. He has a pretty cavalier attitude towards buying big ass properties in obscure places.
Yeah, he's pretty crazy. I don't know.
Pretty crazy? You say pretty as if there's a chance he's not.
As if there's like this like slide rule of crazy and he somehow isn't on the complete end of it.
Okay, no, he is crazy. I would never have him be around us or live with us or anything because I'd have to watch him the whole time and be like, all right, does he have something in his hand that's sharp and that could kill me or like anything that could like
he's not gonna stab you, Nick, probably.
It's Nicolas Cage. It's Nicolas Cage.
I would like to think that he wouldn't stab any of us. He would just be like jumping around, yelling stuff. Be like, "Did you see me in Bad Lieutenant?" Yes, we did. Yes, we saw that.
I would feel so I would feel so unsafe around him if I hung around him for more than 5 minutes. Be like, yeah, I need to go. I don't want to end up as a hostage or anything like that. I'm gonna leave.
I think I'd have a lot of fun with Nick Cage, and I'm looking forward to buying or invading Angola and then letting him buy a big swath of territory there to live on.
Fair enough. Finally, hold on, let me get this thing pulled up because yay, crap. There it is. I've done this before, right? Finally, for now, TLJ Screwjob says, Big Papa Pump Scott Giner. Signature moves, the Giner Screwdriver, the Franken Giner, and the Giner Recliner.
I mean, holler if you hear me, right?
I got a 66 2/3% chance that I'm going to buy that shit. I love
Right.
I love our audience. I fucking love our audience. Oh my god. It's hard to be talking about James Bond when I gotta compose yourself. All right, you guys ready? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to World Class Bullshitters episode.
I'm all out of simpy.
No simpy.
You want to go to a Shoney's in Ackworth, Georgia?
I do. I really do. If and when I actually go to Atlanta to hang out with Nick, I'm gonna be like, dude, hey, we're going on a road trip to Ackworth. It's like 45 minutes away. We have to go to this Shoney's.
Why don't we go on the way to WrestleMania?
Because if I go, I'm flying to Orlando.
Oh, I thought we had agreed you were driving to Cincinnati.
That's news to me, sir.
That's what we had talked about.
I don't recall this conversation.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, we're gonna
What's up, new motherfucker?
Anyway, back to the show. So the name's politics, identity politics. And when we're talking about James Bond, those two things do not mix. So for the last, I don't know how many years, people on the internet have felt entitled to say, James Bond should be this, James Bond should be that. It's like James Bond is what he is. Leave it alone and let the people who like it enjoy it and let it be the thing it is. Because as soon as you change James Bond and you play to the whims of these crazy people online, your James Bond fan base disappears. A lot like Star Wars. So anyway, there's been talk of the female James Bond and this James Bond and the gay James Bond. And guess what? You can have all the gay superheroes, action stars, women, this, that, and the other. But James Bond's James Bond, and he'll always be James Bond. And thankfully, almost thankfully, Barbara Broccoli has stated that James Bond will never, ever be a woman. How does that make you feel, Dion?
It makes me feel good. I mean, half of the way there, I want to say I'm, Destiny Dion. I was very confident they weren't going to pull that bullshit with James Bond. Especially when you have a familiar property, a familiar character, people come back because that's the character that they know, that the story's been built around specifically. You change something, you have to explain it. You can't just have a drastic change like, oh, well, now he, has chesticles and he's, Miss Bond. No one's going to be like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, let's see how this works out. You're going to be like, what? That immediately you're off the story. So I'm very happy that they at least are halfway there right now. But we'll talk about the other half here in a minute.
Nick, what were your thoughts that he won't be a woman ever?
I'm happy. I mean, once again, he's a fictional character. Get over it. People like him for a reason. He's just a cool dude. Who doesn't watch? I mean, I've been watching him since I was a kid. He drinks. He fucks women. He drives fast cars. He kills shit. It's a great job. It's a fictional job, which I know, but that's why we watch movies. It's escapist entertainment. You want to escape the reality and be part of this universe for like an hour and a half. It's fine. I'm glad they're just not giving it identity politics the way other people have. So it makes me feel good. Hopefully, it keeps that way. And hopefully, and once again, if people want a transgender James Bond or a gay James Bond or whatever, get the money together, make your own movie. It won't be that good and people will never watch it. So I don't know what to tell you.
God damn. That's a very defeatist mentality. It's not very good.
He's accurate, but
yeah, no, trust me. If there was a gay James Bond movie that came out and you saw like the Kickstarter for it, you'd immediately be like, "Oh no, no."
I put it like this: I want to promote positivity. So if you're out there and you have a story to tell about a gay secret agent, make your movie. I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, but don't make him being gay like the main part of the movie.
Don't make that fucking movie. Don't make that fucking movie. Don't make a movie where he's explicitly hetero. Don't make a fucking movie where he's bisexual. It's a fucking spy movie, right? Part of the James Bond thing was, hey, this is the 60s, and it's a good-looking dude, and part of him is fucking people to get to the mission. If you're focusing on the fact that he's gay, you're going to forget that, hey, we have to have a bad guy. Then we have to have this explicit thing that he's gay, or we have to have a main bad guy that has a henchman that's specifically fucking gay. And then since we're trying to obviously be preachy, it's going to be this whole fucking side thing about them being gay. And then it's like already at the time, you know, James Bond was sultry as it was. There are people who didn't like that he was a womanizer back fucking then, right? But luckily, you know, it's the 60s and you had the part of the story that was fucking good. You know, Dr. Knows. So it's going to be very hard for these motherfuckers to write a complete story and then be like, oh, he's gay in it. It's like you're going to lose focus of the fucking film.
Yeah.
So don't do that shit. If you make a good other spy movie where, you know, it's where it's not shoved in your face, cool, but don't make it where, oh, we're going to make, hey, here's the movie. I'm writing it right now. He's a gay spy. Like, what the fuck? That sounds like a goddamn middle schooler writing that. He's a gay spy, and da-da-da. Like, okay, well, how is the gay spy different than a spy? Like, what the fuck? Don't do that. Don't fucking do that.
Coming summer 2021 from the local middle school near you. My Gay Immortal.
Yeah.
I look at it this way. If it's a great character, it's a well-written character, and it's an entertaining movie, I don't care who he consensually or she consensually bangs.
Neither do I.
As long as the character is well-written and it's a good story. That's all I care about. Entertain me. Don't preach to me.
Entertain us, ain't us. Anyway, I love Beavis and Butthead Do America. So, now, while James Bond definitely won't be a woman, he may be a person of color, according to Barbara Broccoli. So let me read some of this to you. The next James Bond may not be white, but definitely won't be female. He can be of any color, but he is male. Franchise boss Barbara Broccoli recently told Variety, ruling out long-running rumors that a Jane Bond could replace Daniel Craig after his final star turn as 007. Broccoli and her half-brother, Michael G. Wilson, made it clear they are not limiting themselves to just looking for a white British actor, but have portrayed the world's most famous spy until now. That would keep the door open for Idris Elba, a long-favored Craig replacement. Fuck off. Anyway, you think of him as being from Britain or the Commonwealth, but Britain is a very diverse place, Wilson told Variety during a sit-down last month. Saying they are the custodians of the character who take responsibility seriously, Broccoli insisted she would love to see a strong female spy, just not as James Bond. Let's see. I believe we should be creating new characters for women, strong female characters, she told the mag. I'm not particularly interested in taking a male character and having a woman play it. I think women are far more interesting than that. Craig, who in 2015 said he would rather... What?
But the Negroes aren't. That's so fucking insulting. That's really insulting. I'm actually pissed right now.
Here's the thing. I'm not even going to read the rest of the article. You guys can. It's just a bunch of fluff about how Daniel Craig doesn't want to play James Bond. But hey, let's pay him $115 million to play a role he hates because he's so great. Spoiler.
That he specifically said he would rather slit his fucking wrists than do another one, by the way.
So just tell me why you're so mad right now.
Because, listen, and I've been very forward about this, you know, over the course of the years that we've been doing this now, which actually brings me a lot of pride to say that. You know, but we had this conversation, I think, right before we started the show. And I was like, I mean, I'm open to him being color. And obviously, my best friend is the biggest James Bond fan that I know. And it made sense because, hey, when you fucking randomly change something, even if you reboot it, you have to explain it. So you can't just have a character, especially when that character was, you know, other movies called back to other previous Bonds. So you'd have to explain. So there were callbacks to Sean Connery's Bond in the Pierce Brosnan movies. There were callbacks to Sean Connery's Bond from fucking Roger Moore's Bond movies. So then when you randomly change it, are you going to get rid of all that shit? Are you rebooting the entire fucking franchise? Then you have to explain it. Then you have to go through this whole origin story thing, which obviously origin story movies don't work. So you're making it more difficult than you have to be. Secondly, the thing that pisses me off is she goes through this long-winded fucking, and again, I'm not trying to be the guy that's offended by every fucking thing, right? Everyone knows the shit that I say on this show. But she goes this long-winded thing about how, oh, well, women are more complicated than that. But we're cool if we just make them another fucking color. That's so fucking, that's probably the most British fucking shit I've ever heard in my goddamn life. And then it's so insulting. You know, you're going to put all your cards on the table. Women can do all this other, but we don't have any problems with minorities and shit across the world. So we can just have a dude Britain's diverse enough. We'll just make him Indian or black or something. That's fine. That's so fucking insulting. If a random person that you knew randomly said that to you while you were sitting at a bar, sitting in a restaurant, if you didn't punch him in the face, you'd be like, I don't want to fucking talk to you about this shit. So someone of color, they're not complicated or interesting or anything, but women are. If it's already a woman, we need original characters that are spies for women. But if you're a minority, if you're a person of color, we'll just slap your shit on another brand name and you'll come and watch it, dummy, because it's a black dude now, or it's an Indian dude now, it's an Asian dude now, it's a Native American dude now, it's a Southeast Asian dude now. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna fucking blindly come walking into your goddamn movie because I happen to be a black dude. Fuck you. And if I were sitting there, I would have been like, you know what? That's you just said something incredibly stupid. I don't want to even have the rest of this conversation right now. That's fucking insulting.
Yeah, I feel the same way. That I don't think he should really be any other color besides what he is, because it's funny. They're like, oh, he's British. Britain is so diverse these days. It's like, yeah, but he's a British character from 1952. So exactly. Not as diverse there. Your argument starts to fold in on itself. I mean, Dion, you have very valid points. I actually never thought of it that way, because I was just like, oh, great. More fluff, more talk about strong female characters, the very most basic whatever. But then you get the that, I'm like, shit, that actually didn't think about that, because I'm going to make a video on this, and I'm actually going to use that point, Dion, so thank you.
Yeah, feel free to use a clip, too, because that's bullshit. Like, we feel like women are diverse, but he could be a person of color. Like, that's some shit that a fucking, city councilman in the South in 1960 would fucking say, or some shit like that. Like, that's some backhanded insulting shit. And usually I'm like, you know what, fuck this person. That's stupid, ha ha ha. But you're gonna make this big deal to talk about Bond, and then this dude is we can have original female characters, but he can be a person. When we redo it, he can be a person of color. It's like, fuck you. You can't come up with you because you got the property from your daddy. You can't come up with an original character that happens to be a person of color. Like, I'm all for not checking boxes, but just you say it like that, it's like, okay, so now you're trying to get something out of me now. You're fishing to be an asshole. And it's just like, fuck you. Fuck you for that. Straight fuck you.
I'm of the mindset that most people seem to miss out on. It's the same dude across all the movies. You don't have the freedom to just change his color, because people just don't change color overnight. Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, and then their argument is like, well, it shouldn't matter because they're not going to the books anyways, because they're not using the books as a guideline anyways. They're going through their own thing now. So what does it matter? I would argue every movie says insert actor's name as Ian Fleming's James Bond. It's in the fucking every movie starts out like that. Yeah.
So it's Ian Fleming's James Bond. Ian Fleming's James Bond is very, very clearly stated. You know what? Let me pull up the description of James Bond, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You guys keep talking.
Well, I was going to say, the way I see it, so like James Bond, we kind of have an idea of what and who he is. If they want to make him a person of color, just create a new spy character. Bond has retired and gone off to live in, Fiji with Honey Rider. And we now have a new 007 to fill the void, and his name is, Tom Johnson or whatever. And you make him black. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is, don't call him James Bond and say, hey, look, it's James Bond. He happens to be black. Well, that kind of, changes a lot of things that have happened over the last 50-something years of this story. Call him something different and say he's the new 007 because, James Bond has retired. I can live with that. I mean, it's not exactly what I want, but I can live with that a lot better than just saying, hey, look, it's James Bond. He just happens to be in a new paint job right now. Oh, okay.
You have fucking 8 other 00s. If you want to bank on the Bond name, then just make another fucking 00. But I can already feel it. Well, other characters were changed. One, especially when you're talking about bringing someone's vision to life. If it's a pre-existing character, obviously it has to be on a case-by-case basis. Some changes have been good. The Equalizer, the show or whatever was a white dude, and then obviously Denzel Washington did it, right? and it was great, right? But obviously, the Equalizer doesn't have the fucking cultural relevance of a James Bond, or obviously they made the Ancient One a woman in the Marvel movies, and it worked out great. And you have to take these things on a case by case basis. In this particular case, you're making more problems than you're solving by just changing James Bond for the sake of changing James Bond. Now, any other character that doesn't happen to be, there's no movie on it previously, it's an older property, it's something that hasn't ever been put to film before, then I can see the argument. But this is not that. It's just not that case. The franchise has been around since the fucking 50s.
Yeah, and it's been, we've gotten movies not consistently, but we've gotten them over the years. And then to all of a sudden, change it. But yeah, you said with Equalizer, I think there was a gap in that where nobody knew who Equalizer was, and then they came with the movies, and then we changed it to Denzel Washington, which is fine because there was a 20, 30, 40 year gap. There was a big gap.
It's like
it was a big gap.
Yeah,
it was a huge gap, which means that people forgot about it. It's fine. It's no big deal. Even with they did it with Wild Wild West as well. I think it was two white dudes.
It was all white dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they made it a white dude and a black dude.
And but even then, was the biggest actor on the planet. He even made a fucking
song. He made a music video on the song for that damn movie.
Yeah. Well, and even then, that's the argument for why sometimes you don't do that. So even though Wild Wild West wasn't super relevant in the end of the 90s, the movie was fucking shit. So anything that Wild Wild West is an example of, again, case by case basis. People didn't have a particular issue with it being Will Smith. They even explain it in the movie that he was a former slave. That fits the narrative of the time period that they're in.
Yeah.
But again, they wanted it to be Will Smith so bad they forgot to make a good movie. So there, you have to fucking take the whirlwind of shit into account. So changing James again, how do you explain that? By also remember to write a good movie. The parts of the trailer for the horribly named No Time to Die were cool, but random shit in it where you're a 00, stay out of. It's like, why the fuck are you being a bitch? We're on the same team. That shit comes off so forced in the trailer.
Yeah, it does.
And it's
it does.
If you do that in the movie where you're shoving it down people's throat, hey, I'm a black dude now. If it's still James Bond, it's like, fuck. Like, how do you're adding factors to the fucking to the rest of the puzzle? You're adding pieces that you can't account for yet.
So here is a commission of James Bond done by Ian Fleming, Ian Fleming had commission. So this is what Ian Fleming paid somebody to draw. This is what James Bond looks like to him. I don't see any help on that.
He's white. That's not going to work today.
So, and this is what he's described as in the book. I just had it a second ago. Where is he at? Bond reminds me rather of Hoagie Carmichael, but something cold and ruthless about him. They think he's good looking, rather like Hoagie Carmichael again. And he has black hair that falls over his right eyebrow. Same bone structure, but there's something cruel in his mouth and his eyes are cold. And just for the fuck of it, here's what Hoagie Carmichael looks like. So,
well, it looks like Peter Cushing.
I think he looks like Peter Cushing. Wait till you see Hoagie Carmichael.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what James Bond looks like to Ian Fleming.
That is some Van Helsing looking motherfucker right there.
Yeah, I would say it does look like those dudes from back then.
I don't know what a Hoagie Carmichael is, but I do know what a hoagie is, and I do like those.
I could go for a steak hoagie right now.
Fuck yeah, dude! You give me a sandwich right now, I'd be a happy person.
Yeah, that looks like Peter Cushing.
But the point is, when everyone says no, when everyone tells you that's really uninformed on this topic, it never says what James Bond looks like. It fucking does. Just read a goddamn book.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what bothers me the most about this specific thing. When anyone tells you it's a code name, when anyone tells you it's this, it's that, it's always there. Like in the Daniel Craig movie Skyfall, it shows his family house. And it says fucking Bond on it. Not fucking Bond. It says Andrew and Monique Bond. But my point is, there's their name.
What if it did?
Bond, fucking Bond.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once again, if you want to make your own Bond movie with your own person of interest or whatever, then go do it. Just quit fucking with this one, because like I enjoyed the Bond's movies. I'm not a big Daniel Craig fan, but I'll still go watch them at least once and see how they are.
Same here.
But Yeah, I mean, it's a giant, long franchise. Not all of them are good. Not all of them are great. Some of them are crap. But
What's my problem with like? Look, it's indicative of all pop culture. Look at, we are all about fan response, fan interaction with the media that we all consume. That's awesome. But when people just get it wrong, then it's a problem.
oh yeah,
It'd be like saying, I want I'm trying to think of a really extreme example that'd be really stupid. Like Deep Roy should play Captain America. And if you don't know who Deep Roy is, he's the guy that played Yoda in the one scene in Empire Strikes Back. Or he played he's all the Oompa Loompas in Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from what's his name? Tim Burton.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you a picture of Deep Roy right now. You want to talk about controversial castings. If you're going to go like all out, I'm still going to say you're wrong. Like if you cast this dude right here as Captain America, I'm going to say that is not Captain America. I'm going to have the same passion as I do about James Bond. No, not Simon Pegg, the little guy. Should that be Captain America, Dion?
Fuck no.
No, should not be. The same argument stands for 007. I don't get why people keep using this one. It's like, this is not the hill to die on for progressive entertainment. Okay, we're going to talk about Ghostbusters in a little bit. That didn't work. Stop trying. Look, this is not a message to our listeners in the chat. The listeners in the chat get it, okay? This is a message to Hollywood or the people that try to buy our YouTube channel or the other people that offer. Yeah, folks, we got an offer to buy our YouTube channel for $100,000 today.
Yeah.
Oh god. Well, I mean, okay, just seeing Deep Roy like that. This reminds me of something. There was a Filipino little person movie that was a spy. The spy movie is called. His name was Wenweg or whatever. And he did a bunch of these movies where he was a little spy. He was just doing spy stuff in the movies. These Filipino movies in the 70s.
The spy who kicked me in the ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. For Your Height Only was one of the movies that he made. I'm not kidding. It's real.
I'd watch that. It's
real.
That.
The dubs are horrible. They're ridiculous. It's a lot of fun.
So is that like the Bollywood version of like a Bond movie, but with a little person?
Yeah, because at least
I would watch them.
At least the Bollywood versions would probably be like somewhat entertaining. I mean, they'd be musical, but at least the women would be really hot and stuff. So,
well, yeah, I'm willing to watch Bollywood versions of my favorite franchises because at least they're entertaining.
All right, I'll send you guys the trailer for those movies.
Here's the poster right here.
Yep,
do.
there it is. There it is.
Jesus, that is great.
I mean,
this is a real thing. This is a real thing.
Ladies, how could you not be happy?
He's the world's most deadliest agent. That's how it's written. Agent 00 is 3.5 feet. The real lady killer, Agent 00 3.5 for your height only.
Jesus.
Yep. That's what
I
it was.
almost feel like we have to watch this now, folks. If you're a Patron or if you're not, go ahead and give us a tank tread in that the chat if you want us to watch this for Patron.
Yeah, these were he did a few of them. It was crazy. Let's see, where was the?
Well, while you look it up, Nick, Dion, I want to go back to your point. That was I actually wrote it down. It was not talking down when I say like that, but that was really insightful. I never thought of it from that point of view, and it just pisses me off even more that they would actually treat a black James Bond like you shouldn't even do it anyway. But that's actually, like you said, very backhanded comment.
It is.
It makes me look at Barbara Broccoli. Like, see, I don't think she's as delusional as Kathleen Kennedy, and I don't think Michael G. Wilson is as stupid as other film producers out there, because all they do is make Bond movies, and then they go off and do shit for years, and then they make another Bond movie. Like, I think unlike when Star Wars left Lucas, Disney came in and ruined it. I think if the right people got Bond, you'd make great Bond movies again. And people say, but I liked these ones. That's fine. You can like them. Remember, we can have differing opinions here on this channel and have a conversation. But I do think there is somewhere out there, someone that will make a better Bond, produce better Bond films than the Broccoli family. And I don't think it needs to stay in the family lineage forever, because I don't think she's done that great of a job.
Right. And that's obvious, right? And now granted, she's done a better job with Bond compared than Disney's Lucasfilm has with Star Wars, but again, it's the parts that miss, and especially backlash when you say things, if there's one area in pop culture that gets this the least, it's people who are behind the camera or on the studio side of movies, backhanded shit like that, but also being so tone deaf, and that's the issue when you're trying to check every fucking box. You're bound to miss some, or you're bound to make a fucking mistake because you've added 30 other fucking boxes that you have to fucking check. You're adding steps, and anyone that has to follow a procedure, anyone that has to follow a checklist as part of their job, the more you make things complicated, the bigger chance you have to fuck it up. And in this case, leaning so hard into forcing a fictional character to be inclusive, you do shit like this. So we're going to make the point that we want to be inclusive to women. You say some dumb shit that sounds so tone deaf and so inside their own bubble that, oh yeah, well, women are really complicated and have a lot of story. But he can be a different race. It's like, that's the most fucking up in the castle level shit to say. No one who talks to people of color would ever say some shit like that. Even if there's someone who are a lot more liberal with discussing topics like that, you would never say it to somebody's fucking face. Women are good, but we'll go ahead and make them black. It's like, what the fuck, dude? And that's that. Of course, someone who makes decisions from afar for a movie character says some shit like that. They're not on the ground talking to people and working with people. Would you say that in front of your fucking crew that film these movies? No, you wouldn't say that. Some of them might even be like, yeah, that ain't it, chief. That's just so tone deaf. And you only get that when you add so many extra steps to something that doesn't need to be fucking added to.
I agree. So are we going to watch the movie for Patreon? Do we get a tank tread of movies?
I don't know if we got a tank tread, but I'm just going to go ahead and call and say, yeah, we're doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good thing it's on. I think it's on YouTube for free. So,
we could do it as a live one. Yeah,
probably.
So there's a lot of people chiming in on the super chats with Bond. So Makini90, I'm going to read yours as the transition to the next topic before we close out the show. So do not worry, Makini90. I did not forget about you. Thank you. He said, Obi-Wan 2783 says, Jeff, you're closest to Disney Studios. Put your hat in for a Star Wars movie. You can add those close to you for creative consultants. # more profitable than Disney Star Wars.
I'd like to think that we can make a good Star Wars movie.
I think we can make a great Star Wars movie. Yeah. You could give me like 6 shitty Star Wars characters. I'll win you an Oscar for some visual effects shot, but still, you win an Oscar.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I am closest to Disney Studios. Obi-Wan, I drove past it 3 times this past week. So, yeah, I don't like it. And I don't like seeing the Jimmy Kimmel billboards either. Ugh. I'm still me. Even though I'm out west, I'm still me. So,
I'm me.
It's like that line in Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade where pilgrims in an unholy land when they go to Germany.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's Hollywood. It's Hollywood. The Fixer says, I don't mind Bond being a different race, since Bond is heavily implied to be a legacy name. Hell, I would have been really happy with Idris Elba. Bond is not a legacy name, though. It's not like Batman, where Tim Drake can pick. I almost said Tim Riggs. Tim Riggs can be Batman.
Sure, he wants to be. Yeah, America.
Tim, you want to be Batman? Sure. No, but Batman passes it on to Dick Grayson. It's not a mantle. Bond is just a guy's name. Like, my name is your host, Jeff Hicks, because I legally changed my name to your host. Right. So, I mean,
I've seen this passport. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, next year's just going to be a symbol. Okay, next year's just going to be a symbol.
It's
like the artist formerly known as your host, Jeff Hicks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm gonna introduce myself like that next week. Don't let me forget.
All right,
I want to get a real Prince vibe going, or nothing but purple. Yeah, but the Fixer, it was always just one guy. I'm not gonna go through it right now unless people really want me to. But like the first 20 movies, it's all one guy, and there's threads in all the movies. Well, in all of each actor's films to tie them all together. So there are threads from Connery's that you can tie into Lazenby's, which go into Roger Moore's, which go into Dalton's, which go into Brosnan's. So there's no gap in logic. Like, it's easy to follow. The wife ties it really together because you see Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton talk about the wife. And then Brosnan goes back to Q's lab where he looks at all the gadgets from the previous missions that he's been on. So, I mean, it's all very clear. And I don't mind talking to people about it. But at the end of the day, it's never been a code name, and it's never been implied to be a code name. It's always been a man who goes on crazy adventures. I think because of the advent of the MCU and big crossovers and stuff like that, and everything's got to be a code or a theory or stuff like that. Basically, since the internet really got bigger post Die Another Day, people really glommed onto that because they thought it was cool and they want to read into it in the movies, but it's never been there. It's always been a man named James Bond. So there we go. Bikini 90, I'll read this one. Thank you very much. People complaining are buying tickets. Unlike Star Wars, they're toxic. Wait, what was that? Solo lost money and The Rise of Skywalker is $1 billion disaster? Disney and Lucasfilm pissed everyone off. A little taste of karma, huh, Disney? Bikini 90, it sounds like you watched my Marvel video where I talked about that. Yeah, the people that do make the Star Wars stuff that complain about it are definitely treated differently than any other dissenting fan base. And there's a double standard there, and it's bullshit. But thankfully, it's funny, though. The people that are mad and left. And the people that didn't care about Star Wars that were catered to didn't care and never came in the first place or didn't come back after The Force Awakens. So if you look at it, Disney is Star Wars' greatest enemy. Disney is their own greatest enemy because not only do they ruin it and not make it a must-see event, they own the competition and they put more value in their competition and they tank the brand that had better longevity than anything else. Just saying. Yeah,
it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens in this next year with movies and things. If people are going to go out and watch them, or if we're still going to see a decline in money and in people going to the theater and things like that, because we're in like the streaming wars now, and you can basically for a nominal fee stream anything you want ever to your TV. So
yeah, well, that's going to be the way they do stuff. So I mean, I don't know, but the thing is, people would say, well, Star Wars kind of lost, guys. Move on. There's actually so much more that keeps coming out almost every day about the way Disney has handled it. I mean, the most beautiful thing for me is to watch the Access shill media turn their backs and basically call them a failure and this and that. That is my favorite part of all this, because last year we were man babies. We were this, we were that, we were toxic, we were hateful, we were the toxic brood and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But like I always say in the videos, at the end of the day, we were right. And that's the most important thing. We were right about all of it. Tell your sister you were right. Yeah, I'll tell her myself. It's fine. So Bikini 90, it is funny how Lucasfilm and Disney did that. And with Taika Waititi's news, who cares?
Really? Yeah, nobody cares.
Let's see. Our friend GrendelFan84 from Comics Elite. We haven't heard from him in a while. So what's up, man? He says, I've seen every Bond film at least 3 times, and this will be the second year, and in my life, I'm avoiding Bond intentionally. The first being the new James Bond comic series, which is terrible. Now, GrendelFan, I don't know how far back you're taking the Bond comic book. If it's the Dynamite one from a few years back, I stopped reading it. It wasn't that great. I thought the artwork was kind of meh. But whatever. It's weird when you adapt a comic book based on the books, but not the movie. There's so many things. And it's just not that good. It's not that good. So I'm with you there. But I won't skip No Time to Die. Look, I've lived through Die Another Day. I have seen Moonraker more than once.
Oh.
And I actually started watching Diamonds Are Forever last weekend when I was in Las Vegas. My point is, I've been places, man. I've seen things, okay? I've been to the bottom. And with that in mind, I will give this a fair shake, because here's the thing. I'm very realistic to a lot of the things we cover and the way the media is represented. But there's one thing that I would like to believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I would like to believe that this next James Bond movie, all this identity politics shit is just talk. And then at the end of the day, it's a solid James Bond movie that people thought was going to be one thing, and then everyone's going to be outraged. Well, not everyone, like 6% of 1% of a percent. Those people are going to be upset that it wasn't as progressive as they wanted it to be. It's like at the end of the day, it's just a classic James Bond movie, and Lashana Lynch's character dies in like 27 minutes, and hey, Bond's Bond, and we don't care about these things.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's going to be like the giant Twitter wave outrage is going to happen for like a couple weeks after it comes out. It's like, oh, it's woke. Oh, it's not woke enough. Oh, it's too woke. It's like nobody cares. Shut up.
They'll get over it when the next thing comes out. They have,
I know
the woke scolds on the Twitter have a very short attention span.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
They're like goldfish.
Yeah,
that's true.
same size brain.
Yeah, we're all going to see that, right? Correct?
Oh,
Bond?
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was seeing Underwater yesterday, they had a poster for No Time to Die, and I thought to myself, that's an ugly poster. I don't like Daniel Craig as James Bond, but I'm going to go see this movie. So, let's see. AJ Journeyman, thank you very much. He says, just wanted to say that Christopher Tolkien passed away today. He played a huge part in preserving his father's work and respecting his wishes. Well, rest in peace, Christopher Tolkien. I did not know that. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that.
Well,
no, I did not.
I guess I can make this. It's not really an announcement, but everyone talks about how, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings. So we're having a big event somewhere, and I'm going to be there. Jesse Milestone of Milestone Entertainment. I believe Gary from Nerdrotic, Anna, that Star Wars girl, and then quite a few other people are going to get together for my inaugural viewing of the Lord of the Rings extended cut saga trilogy, however I want to phrase it. And so I'm thinking about throwing up like a pre-live stream and letting people, chime in and talk to us before the movies, and maybe a post one where I'm like, hey, this is what I thought after experiencing 12 hours of Lord of the Rings and lots of pizza. So that'll be on February the 1st if we decide to do the stream part, but that's the day that I'm going to be watching Lord of the Rings. So Jesse, did you hear what I said? Christopher Tolkien passed away?
Yeah, I heard first.
So yeah, there we go. That's our Lord of the Rings connection for the night. But rest in peace, Christopher Tolkien. And I mean, there's the new Lord of the Rings show that's coming out, so I don't know how it pays tribute to the old. I just don't know. I've seen half of the first movie and dozed off, but I don't know. Dean Hopesoffel says, one of the virtues of never sleeping, Mr. Bond, is I have to live my dreams. Besides, plenty of time to sleep when you're dead. God, this movie sucks. Yes, Die Another Day does suck, Dean.
Die Another Day, well, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love watching it because it is crap. It is entirely crap, but man, is it fun.
Honestly,
they basically copy Diamonds Are Forever, but instead of like killing strategically killing bases and things like that, they're like, oh, we're just gonna just nuke this, gonna heat up the small area where they're like,
all
landmines.
To get North Korea to invade South Korea.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
you
all
have
it
a
is.
fucking laser cannon, dude.
That's the whole plan of the movie. Is to have North Korea invade South Korea by exploding the landmines.
It's so weird. So our
they
troops
already
can
have
go.
Hovercraft. Why can't they just already do it?
Well, not only that, but it's like, so our troops can go through. It's like, you fucking idiot. You have a laser cannon. You hit a city in South Korea and you say, surrender, I'm going to destroy the whole fucking country. Why would you I'm just going to clear this way for our troops and then not use it again, guys?
Plus,
what?
I mean, with real world application, to get North Korea to invade South Korea, you don't even need anything other than just the right Saturday. Where the guy, the dictator of North Korea says, fuck it, it's time, let's go. That's all you really need.
That's true. That's true.
Dion, you've heard me say this to you many a time. It saddens me that Die Another Day has a really strong start.
I know, it's so cool.
It does.
3 00s go to fucking there. Oh god, that's so cool.
Well, not even that part. It's when he gets captured, and there's the whole, I never spoke, I never took my cyanide, this, that, and the other. That's the problem with a movie like Die Another Day and like a Spider-Man 3. They're not good, but there are moments of greatness, and there are moments where the movie could be saved if they did a couple other things. But overall, it just fell in on itself. It was too much. The producers. It's funny too. Everyone wants to blame Pierce Brosnan. Blame the two people on your fucking screen, the same two people that make all the ones post that movie.
Yep.
Like, I just wish people would understand how those movies suck, why they suck. Like when we sit and go, The Last Jedi's garbage, we don't blame Rose Tico, and we don't blame John Boyega, and we don't blame Oscar Isaac and all these people. We blame Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy and Ron Bergman, the people that have power in these movies. Like, just listen to the way we talk. So these two people gave you Die Another Day, folks. If you hate it, blame them.
Yeah. We don't hate the actors and the actresses in those movies. We just hate the characters.
Yes. And Kelly Marie Tran's name escaped me. That's why I called it Rose Tico.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, when you lived with 55 action figures of her plastered all over your office, she becomes Rose Tico.
Well,
Jeez, who are you, Ethan Van Sciver?
I wish.
There's one that's permanently entombed in Camp Kidney.
That's true. There is.
What did we microwaved my Last Jedi Blu-ray, right?
We sure did, and then I elbow dropped and leg dropped the case.
You are a good man, Kendo.
And then I just beat the shit out of it into submission. But yeah, I showed you guys what fun you can have by throwing a disc into a microwave. I'm surprised that you guys had never microwaved a compact disc before. I'm like, really? You get like a little laser light show for about half a second, and then that's it.
I never have been in a situation where I should microwave a disc.
Well, I had
the FBI's never knocked on my door, and I had to microwave all my discs. So I'm good.
I had a rather rambunctious time in my ute.
Oh, two utes, okay.
Yeah, I was, had some wild times as a ute.
Westgard Toribong. Wow, I'm sorry. Westgard Toribong says, "I am Goop Bond 007-11." Like are you a convenience? Are you a convenience store?
Yes, he is.
All I imagine is an Indian guy in a really nice suit and a turban. That's all I imagine.
I'd watch that.
I would too.
It's about him, fighting it back against, I don't know, the head people of the 7-Eleven chain. I don't know, but I'd watch it.
he turns on Britain. That's what happens. He turns on England. He's like, you've had people for too long. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, and they're like, wait, you're an independent country. You're just part of the Commonwealth, and that's a figurehead type. Ah, fuck it. Fight him.
Now I want some 7-Eleven taquitos.
I honestly could go for a big ass thing of nachos right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Last night at Jesse's open mic, some guy was talking. He did a bit about the older you get, you don't waste money. And he's like, I watch people in the club drink Patron shots, and that's $11 a shot. And in my mind, that's a pizza and a large Pepsi and this and that from 7-Eleven. And so today, when I bought something, I was like, I wonder how much I could get at 7-Eleven for this. So thank you, random guy. The Fixer has an interesting comment. He says, women are more complicated than men? That's so self-rewarding. It reminds me of the time South Park, where people buy hybrids and smell their own farts.
Yeah, that's a great one. Smug alert! Kyle's family moves to San Francisco where there's a huge smug cloud. And then the George Clooney Oscar speech where they take the actors take credit for civil rights becomes a smug cloud, and it's going to converge over Denver. It's great.
Jeez. And then our friend Breadman Production says, Jeff, should I send my Batman the Animated Series review via email? I mean, if you want to, we'll check it out. I'd like to hear what you think. Kendo gets to the emails, so he will check that out.
Yes.
So, this Bond stuff, though, I don't know. It's almost tiring to talk about the James Bond stuff because it becomes like every couple news cycles it comes back and it's the same argument, and it's like, in my mind at least, I'm just trying to not let the misinformation take over. Yeah, we talk about the culture war. It's like, hey, feeding misinformation to these people causes them to accept subpar entertainment. So I know that sounds a little more grandiose than it is, but pop culture is worth saving, folks. You know that good feeling you get when you would watch old Star Wars or even the prequels or any of your favorite movies? How would it feel to have all that stuff just ripped away from you and changed at the whim of people that don't even like it and don't even make money from it? So just keep that in mind when we do talk about pop culture the way we do, because it is important. It's our culture. It's what we make. It's what we consume. In many ways, it reflects who we are as people. And maybe I don't see myself as all these characters, or as ruthless as James Bond would be. But I do like good stuff saved and not changed for people that don't like it.
Right. Well, and even then, that's just, and I say it all the time, that's part of good storytelling. If you're making changes to the story to appease people who aren't going to appreciate it anyway, well, then what the fuck are you changing it for? Part of good storytelling, one of the biggest parts of it is consistency. If you introduce something, you have to be able to explain its existence, or if you change something, you have to be able to at least integrate it into the story where it's not distracting. And we saw it with Star Wars. We've seen it with Ghostbusters. We've seen it with so many other properties. It's an easy thing to do, but it's an easy way to fuck up your story, man. And people just don't fucking get it. And it's saddening and frustrating. And obviously in this case, insulting.
Did you just say Ghostbusters?
I did.
Well, McKinney90, it's time to read your other super chat. He says, did you guys hear about Paul Feig wants a Wokebusters 2016 crossover with Afterlife? McKinney90,
of course he does.
Look at McKinney90, before I even go into this, yes, I know. Yes, I've heard about it. Yes, I've already made a video. It's in production right now, so come back tomorrow, Saturday at the latest, and you can watch my whole thoughts, because I actually go pretty deep into the topic. And it's always fun to make fun of Paul Feig. Guys, actually, I'm going to send you guys what the screenshot looks like, just to prove to you guys that I'm not talking out my ass. There it is. Boom.
I mean, that'd be.
And there you go. So that's in production as we speak. There you go. Nick's looking at it right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. I'm already ahead of the curve, folks. Like I always tell people, always have your notifications turned on, because we're following the stories. Look at no bad pop culture goes unpunished. But like that's our t-shirt.
Right.
That's a t-shirt.
Our fingers clearly on the pulse.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think of this? He wants a crossover.
Of course he does.
Fuck
If I fucking went, 0 for 3, I'd want another shot of the big game too, man. So of course, fuck this dude.
I mean, why? There shouldn't be a crossover at all. It shouldn't. Like, I mean, what are they going to do? Remake 2016 again and just have some kids in it from the one that comes this year? It's like, hey kids, hey women, let's get together and fight ghosts. Like, what? What's going to happen with that? How is that going to work out?
Think of, the only rationale I can put to this is that Leslie Jones was pissed off when they were making a new new Ghostbusters, and it was pretty much retconning their Ghostbusters. She probably sent Paul Feig a message and said, "What can we do about this?" He says, "I'm not sure, probably nothing." She goes, "Get that movie made, or I'm not sending you any more nudes." And he's like, "Shit, I have to now."
Ouch.
Because there's really no other reason except for he's like, "Hi, I'm Paul Feig. You may remember me from such debacles as Ghostbusters 2016. I am irrelevant, and I want
such films as heavyweights."
Yes,
pretty good.
I really, really, really desperately want you to forget how my movie sucked balls. So I'm going to try to, hitch my wagon to the one that you kind of liked. You remember how you thumbs down my trailer and you thumbs up this one? Well, guess what? We want a crossover. Cross the streams.
Yeah, crossing the streams never works.
I'm trying not to give too much of the video away so people come back. But yeah, it's actually researched what he's trying to adapt as a crossover and in regards to, this stuff. And put it like this. I know it's easy to rip on Paul Feig's Ghostbusters. Well, that's because it's a piece of shit and it should be ripped off. Look at great folks.
A terrible movie. It deserves all the hate it gets.
Good entertainment rises to the top. Bad entertainment swirls the bowl like The Last Jedi and Ghostbusters 2016. And the best part is you can take out all the identity politics stuff and the narrative of the movie, and it's still a bad movie. Like, if you don't even watch it in that regard, Ghostbusters 2016 is unfunny. And a comedy that's unfunny is not worth anything.
I laughed 0 times while watching it, Jeff.
I remember...
shit-faced.
You folks, hey,
I had to, right? I had to black it out of my memory, right? It was horrible.
Look at patrons. We all have the commentary on on our Patreon page. So if you guys want to hear it, it's old, but you just type in Ghostbusters in the search function, it will pop up. It's the Ghostbusters 2016 commentary, and I pass out midway through the movie, and I leave.
Yeah. And then, because Hillary watched it with us, didn't she?
Yep.
So it's essentially Kendo, white girl wasted Nick, Hillary, and myself, and we all get shit faced, and then we get mad that Jeff falls asleep. And then we're just like, what the fuck is this? And then Kendo and I you can tell how pissed we're getting that we have to watch the rest of this fucking movie. It's probably my favorite commentary. Next to what is it? Is it the first Halloween where Nick got super, super, super wasted?
All I know is that I enjoy our The Room commentary. We talk about DJ Tanner and rim jobs, but that's not
that was good times, and I wasn't even on that one.
Oh god.
So Kendo, how bad was the sound of the wind tunnel when I fell asleep?
Folks, if you want an idea of what it sounded like for me and Dion and Nick for about 30 minutes after Jeff had fallen asleep while we're watching this, it would be here is a reenactment. Man, this is not funny at all. Dion, yeah, this ain't funny at all. Oh, yeah, this isn't funny at all. God, this is good. Oh, it's like Jeff, wake up and turn off your mic. Dude, can somebody call Jeff? Somebody call Jeff, please. This has got to stop. It's like, God damn it, this is awful. Because your window is open. And there was like cars, I think, drag racing outside your house. At least that's the impression I got. And it was a local gangs drag racing outside there, outside his window, like this street right now. That's what they were doing. They were drag racing right there. Yeah, they had a beef. They were racing for pinks. Okay. Yeah, it was like Fast and the Furious, all of them outside of Jeff's house at exactly like 15 minutes into the movie after Jeff had fallen asleep. And like we couldn't even, it was like so bad. We were like having hard times like talking to each other because before each of us could get something in, you hear, hey, it's like, what the fuck is happening in there, Jeff? And we called him like 17 times or something crazy. Like all of us were just like spam calling Jeff, trying to wake him up because he was like, hey guys, I gotta go to the bathroom and I'll be right back. That was it. There was like, it was it. He probably,
one of
we
those.
assumed he pooped and fell asleep on the toilet or something along those lines. Jeff was dead at that point, and all we had was what sounded like a helicopter crashing into a Ferrari on repeat. That's all it was. Pedals down, wind tunnel. It was just awful. It was just like, hey guys, let's go. Oh, it's like, Jeff, stop it. Turn off your microphone, please. And then I think like after we finished, like Nick had fallen asleep.
I was miserable and gone. I drank myself like retarded. So yeah.
So Dion was like, all right, let's just get off this thing. So at the last thing I said, one of us said something like, Jeff, if you're trying to find the end of the audio, please mute yourself cut off your audio for the entire run of this commentary. And I think we even messaged like the chat, like just to be absolutely sure that what Jeff saw is like, what is that? So that way he could go back there and he could hear, be like, oh fuck, I gotta just cut mine.
Oh, I did. Don't worry, listeners. If you want to listen,
which he did.
Yeah, I want you to. So basically, what it is you hear Nick, Kendo, Dion, and Hillary hating this film. You can hear the movie in the background slightly, and then you just hear them go, "God damn it, Jeff!"
And I was still kind of new, so I'm like hopeful, going, he might actually be coming back. But
he might come back to life.
The other two guys were probably just sitting there going, he ain't coming back. And I'm like, that might come back.
Oh, young, naive Kendo. How?
Yeah, that was like my first foray into the drunken commentary, and we back that thing too because it was Ghostbusters on top of
you have to know whenever Jeff says I'm going to the bathroom during a boring movie, he's not coming back, man.
Oh yeah, I learned that after that
40 minutes later from his bed, being like, keep going, guys. I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah, that was I learned that from that night. That was my baptism by fire. That was my first mission out of the wire in Nam. I was like, if Jeff says that, we're on our own.
To be fair, there have been times where I was just overly tired. Like we were doing the thing once, and I was like, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And I laid down for 5 minutes and I slept. I set an alarm and I got back up and I came back. So I try, okay?
No. We get it. It's fine. It's just, just give us a heads up when you're going to do that. That's all we ask for.
Well, look, good news is I'm never going to ask you to watch Ghostbusters 2016 ever again.
Thank you.
Don't worry, my friends. I love you guys. I wouldn't do that to you. The channel would never ask you to do that. We're going to do a drunk commentary tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on World Class Bullshitters. Whatever. Who cares, right?
Oh, no, man. I can't. I'm busy and stuff.
Look,
Yeah, I got stuff and things and stuff. Yeah.
there's literally nothing I wouldn't do instead of watching Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh God, man, I got off of it. Even his crossover, just like, why, man? And even like Dan Aykroyd was against him, like even being on the studio lot or whatever. I'm just like, I get that, but I mean, he's still Paul Feig and he's still got some clout. I doubt they're gonna tell him not to be on the lot. But like, you lost some serious money, dude. Some serious money.
More than box office money, you lost goodwill with the fans. The people look at Ghostbusters is a 2-movie franchise and a cartoon series, and yes, a comic book series and some video games. But my point I'm trying to make is it's really just 2 big things that people are carrying the goodwill over from their childhood. And when you bastardize it, people go, you know what? I love Ghostbusters, but even I'm going to tap out on this one, and you're just hurting yourself. So that's why Sony has made a concerted effort to double down and go Ghostbusters Afterlife ignores the female one, and never again will we address that.
I think whenever I think about this, I think about the Hulk fiasco that happened years ago, and they had the first Hulk movie that came out, and it was just horrible. And then they made the next one with Ed Norton after that.
Wait, are you telling me you don't like Ang Lee's Hulk?
Jesus, no.
You wouldn't want Nick Nolte to be your supervillain father, bro? What the fuck, dude?
Well, I think we can all agree that Jennifer Connelly's a smoking 10, though.
Oh yeah,
wow,
definitely,
sure, yeah.
definitely.
Roll Tide on that.
I'd fight some giant gamma dogs for her too, man.
So would I. I mean, we might die in the process because we're not the Hulk, but at least we tried.
Yeah.
Punch him in the dick.
I mean, you don't ever get anywhere by not putting in the effort, Jeff.
Punch him in their gamma dick.
Right.
Gamma punch to the gamma dick. Activate.
I would
Dragon shit.
There you go.
Thank you for the dragon shit. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
No, but yeah, this Ghostbusters thing, like I said, folks, cheap plug for the videos. Check them out. We had one on Star Wars in China this week, which is doing all right. The Marvel Morbius one, nope. Thank you, YouTube. But the Ghostbusters one is can't miss because it's not just we're talking about Paul Feig stuff. It goes a little deeper, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody yet. So come back tomorrow, Saturday at the latest. We'll have it out. We'll have the tweets. So follow us on social media for that one. I'll tell you guys the twist off air.
Cool.
Because actually part of it's relevant to us, Deanna's friends.
Ooh. Now you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
So TLJ Screwjob says it's like the MCU Spidey. Like I said on Tuesday's High Council, people know Peter is Spidey and James Bond is a white male. Even normies will say, but Bond's white. Yeah.
And we'll all say, yeah, it's been that way. Since
We don't. Yeah,
whatever.
we don't care. That's his character. That's his character. He was that's a whole backstory.
Yeah,
So
kind of his thing.
Yeah.
TLJ Screwjob also says, aka brand recognition. Without James Bond 007, normies might not go see it. So yeah, when you see Lashana Lynch and all this stuff on the internet, notice the poster is just Daniel Craig as James Bond 007.
Yeah, if you had 007 on there and it was her on there, people would get confused.
Yeah, I don't think you would be like there wouldn't be shock and intrigue. Like, I gotta find out who this statuesque woman is playing James Bond. What? No, they'll mistake her for the Bond girl, and they'll just wait for James Bond to show up, and they'll be like, "Where's James Bond?" And no one will ever come back.
Yeah, it would be a whole confusing thing, and nobody would care for it. What do you think about what is it, Billie Eilish doing the song for the movie? What do you think about that?
Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot to mention that. I have never heard one of her songs, so could you guys tell me about her?
You're gonna puke in your mouth.
Yeah, I haven't heard any of her stuff either, so I don't know. But yeah, if Dion says that, I trust his judgment.
I just heard "Bad Guy" and one other goofy ass song by her. And look, apparently she's a nice,
okay, all right.
she's a nice kid or whatever. But to make that a Bond song, hey, God help us all.
Okay, so they're having her do the Bond song so that they can bring in, I guess, the younger crowd to like it and maybe watch the movie and get into it.
Because they want teenage girls to come and be like, "Oh my God, she's so real!" And now she's singing about an international assassin who fucks. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'm watching her music video right now called "Bad Guy." This makes me uncomfortable. She has a nosebleed, and there are knees that are going in and out.
Yes, it's just she's very overrated right now. Because teenagers like goofy shit. And apparently she's all like in her feelings and shit. It's like whatever. But to make a Bond song, get the fuck out of here.
You know what this
So-
is? This is Sam Smith all over again because he was so hot in a minute, and nobody likes that song. And writing's on the wall.
Yeah,
I like that one, but this one's worse because it wasn't like, even though he was a hot ticket at that point, he wasn't known for like fucking teenage boys or teenagers love Sam Smith. That they at least were like, hey, he's popular right now, soul singer, whatever. This one specifically is because teenage girls like her, which whatever. Teenage girls like what teenage girls like, but to do a Bond song, it's like. Who else would that be for? That's a very specific audience that they're aiming at by trying to have her do a Bond song.
Who did Skyfall's Bond song?
Adele.
Adele.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah,
it was actually a really good song.
Agreed.
no, it was.
I was gonna say it sounds
I
like
wish she
with
would
this new one. Yeah, I was gonna say with this new one, it sounds like we have a candidate for worst Bond song.
Yeah.
Well, I know you got to give it a fair shake and all this other bullshit, but yeah, I'm not excited by that. You wanted my honest opinion of it. This girl, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm watching this video. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, at least with Adele,
definitely listen to it for sure. Definitely hear it. I'm like, Bad Guy's not the worst thing ever, but for a Bond song, like she very clearly, she's talented, but she's not writing like in-depth shit.
She's jumping through a wall of cardboard paper and dancing like an idiot. It has a nosebleed. Like when you think of James Bond, you think of class. You think of Tina Turner with Bono and the Edge, Shirley Bassey, Tom Jones. These larger than life celebrities. People go, well, they're contemporaries. That's when that's what the popular thing was. That is a valid argument. But there was also garbage groups that they didn't pick back in the day. Billie Eilish is not, Adele, who was, at the time the biggest singer in the world, had a great voice, blah blah blah.
Well, I mean, yeah, and she still is incredibly talented. It was never just like, she's just a pop star, whatever. No, she was really talented. And the song she did for Skyfall was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. See, there are examples of when Bond producers just pick like, okay, Sheryl Crow.
Right.
They just picked her because she was popular. She wasn't the best singer. They actually had somebody else. Dion, we talked about this in person.
Mm-hmm.
KD Lang had a new song or a different song called Surrender, which is the entire was meant to be the song the entire time. You have Garbage with the World Was Not Enough. Good song. Was Garbage the greatest band of 1999? No, O-Town was, but it doesn't matter.
I'm glad.
I want to know what it
Yeah, but the song that Garbage did was at least it was good. I mean, even what is it? Duran did one for
You to a Kill. That's the best one.
You to a Kill, which I kept hearing my phone over the over Christmas break over and over again through Spotify, and I was like, man, this is a really good song. Even if it isn't associated with James Bond, it's still really it's really good.
It's the only Bond song to reach #1 on the charts.
Oh man, it's great. Anybody who's not heard it, please go listen to it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I would say A View to a Kill is the best. Like,
Yeah,
just because it's a fun song.
It is a fun song.
You know what? On the our iTunes version and all that, the streaming version of this podcast, I'm gonna close this out with A View to a Kill.
There you go.
So, how's that sound for a slice of fried gold?
Ooh, I like it.
Ooh.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you. I was
still trying
waiting.
to figure out what the fuck
And again,
Billie
and
Eilish is.
you really need to listen to her.
I'm listening to the song right now.
You're actually listening to it? I thought you were just watching the video. Yeah,
No,
I mean, you gotta listen to it. She's not like the thing for me with Bond songs. It's it's a sophisticated. Obviously, the early ones with the arrangement and shit was big, and then again, going and getting fucking Paul McCartney and Duran, people who were. And again, I'm not saying that Billie Eilish is not a legitimate musician. I'm not saying that, but seasoned Adele was. There's no way that you can't say that Homegirl was a seasoned performer in a very well put together song for Skyfall. Billie, and she might work real hard on this song. I'm not saying she's not going to work hard on the song, but it's not a sophisticated. It's going to be a poppy girl tune. That's not for the movie. It's going to be for the people who listen to her shit. She's not a seasoned person who knows to write for something that she's not ingrained with. You know, Adele did the way she sang was awesome.
That's Billie Eilish.
I'm sorry, eyelashes.
I'm listening to Adele's version right now, and it's awesome.
Yeah, Skyfall is like a really good song.
It's a really, really good song. Like, it's really awesome.
Yeah,
like it
feels
like Bond. This feels like
one
Bond.
of my favorite ones. It's like really good. And I was like, man, I probably shouldn't be liking this so much. It's an Adele song, and I don't listen to Adele, but I'm like, I can't help it. I like this song.
She's talented. 100% she's talented, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, she's very talented. You know, and you know, my favorite's always going to be Goldfinger. I love the theme being specifically about the bad guy, but you know, I just don't see Billie Eilish being able to make something sophisticated enough for a 60-year-old franchise. You know, her bread and butter is writing for teenage girls. Like, what she could fucking blow it out the water. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but the great theme songs for the Bond movies are sophisticated. They're deliberate. They're feel intense.
Yeah,
and Thunderball, the motherfucker passed out at the end of the goddamn song.
Yep. Well, even they feel like the beginning of Bond. Like, I just watched 30 seconds of Adele's one, and I was like, this feels like Bond. You know?
Yeah. Goldfinger, what's her name, had the record for longest held note in a musical number like that for a time. So I mean, that's, you see people specifically doing things, if not for Bond, doing something specific and deliberate. I don't see Billie Eilish being able to do that for a 2-hour movie about a highly trained, sophisticated assassin who goes around the world and killing people, saving the world,
fighting around the world.
Not
Taika.
You know, she's making music for middle school dances and high school dances.
I mean, even Paul McCartney is, what is it, Live and Let Die, is awesome. It's very much of the time, but it's a great song though.
Yeah,
you know, especially with the visual aesthetics of what's going on and everything with that movie, and just the whole, you know, the thing with it. It feels like a Bond movie, man. You know, it's awesome.
Can I give you my recommendation for who should sing the next Bond flick?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to share a picture right now, and I bet you guys can guess who I'm going to pick, but there she is.
Wait,
Queef?
No. Hey, Dion, I got a question for Dion real quick. It just came up.
Yes, go ahead, brother, go ahead.
So let's say the new Bonds, they didn't give it to Billie Eilish. They said, yo, we're going to give it to Yoko Ono. What would that sound like?
Oh, sure. Yeah, buddy. Sunfire. Johnny.
Dion, I'm so proud to call you my best friend.
Roll the fucking credits. We're done. We ain't gonna top it. It's over.
That was the greatest softball ever. Oh god, I love doing this goddamn show.
I did too.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Zenith Works says Tika's Thor movie is woke. I do not trust him with Star Wars. And then Zenith Works also says Thor is emasculated in Thor Ragnarok. Now, Zenith, I have different issues with Thor Ragnarok beyond Tessa Thompson just being whatever. I don't like Mjolnir being destroyed. I don't like a lot of the stuff in that movie. I know you guys like it way more than I do, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the only Thor movies I actually liked. So
the only thing I liked was Hell and the way that chick looked in that skin tight suit.
Okay, Blanchett.
Yeah, that I liked. Other than that, yeah, some of the Loki stuff was kind of funny, but
I like Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, I mean he's okay.
I feel like I'm obligated to say yes, but I don't know. Just Ragnarok just didn't do it for me. I didn't see it.
No, I get it for sure. As much as I like it, I get why people didn't like it. Like I said, for me, it was a fun little movie. I liked it where it was funny, but yeah, I don't. People who have issues with it, I don't. I get it. They're legitimate concerns for that movie because it's a weird deviation from the tone of like, oh, his dad's fucking dead, and then it's like, oh well, we're joking, and it's like I get the concern there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I liked everything to do with Korg, and then pretty much that was about it, other than Kate Blanchett in a skin tight suit.
Yeah, she was hot.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I never looked at you this way before, but I'm kind of happy I am.
Let's see. Nathan Brake says, off topic, what vehicle would you like to drive? For me, it's either the 1964 Aston Martin DB5 or an M4 Sherman. And yes, it is street legal. Well, Nathan, my answer is the Aston Martin. What do you guys say?
Are we talking specifically from movies?
He just says your vehicle.
I mean, my go-to is a 2005 Ford GT. Specifically, that love for that car has been reinvigorated due to
Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, dude, that was a good movie.
God, I love that movie, and I used to have pictures of that car up in my bathroom as a kid for the reasons you exactly think. Other than that, I think I got to go with the '69 Pontiac GTO from Triple X. I fucking love that car.
That's good.
Dion, did I ever tell you about the time I saw a 2005 Ford GT driving down the street in Cincinnati?
No.
Yeah, I flipped out because that car is in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, like the original one. It's called the Bullet. Mm-hmm. And so the new model was rolling around Cincinnati. I was like, holy shit, it's a car from Grand Theft Auto.
Nuts, dude. I remember when we went to Miami for WrestleMania and we saw one driving down the street.
That's why we always got to go to Miami, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, Nick, what's your dream car?
Dream car? Oh, I thought we were going to just vehicle, and I was going to pick a plane. Okay, all right. If it's okay, can I pick a plane? Can that happen? Okay, SR-71, the Blackbird. That's what I want.
You have almost redeemed yourself. You're going to be a poor boy from Kansas, but you have an SR-71 Blackbird jet.
Yeah, fastest. I think I can do Mach 3. I forget the stats, but I can do Mach 3, and it's been recommissioned like 3 times, and like it's a crazy plane. Like it's I think one of the instructions to the pilots were if you get if there's a surface air missile that's after you, just go faster. That was those are the instructions. Outrun it. Yeah. I think the highest it went was like 80,000 feet. Yeah, like the edge of the atmosphere almost. Yeah.
When your brother Superman is out fighting crime and saving the world, you're gonna like barely be able to catch up in that jet, right?
just barely.
No, yeah, especially it'll be like that episode of Batman Beyond where Terry's getting his ass kicked by Superman. He goes, "How fast does this thing go? Mach 3. Is that faster than a speeding bullet?" I love that show.
There you go.
Oh, Dion, you have a new favorite listener.
Really?
Obi-Wan 27883 says, Dion and I just became best friends. I also love the 2005 Ford GT.
My man.
Well, okay. Well, and if we're going cars, Lincoln Continental 1960s version with the suicide door is all black
from Supernatural.
Well, no, Supernatural is a different car. This car has been in a Bond movie before.
Yeah, it was in Doctor.
Was it Goldfinger?
No, I think it was a Goldfinger because I remember Nick talking about it on one of the commentaries we were doing. Yeah.
We need to get with Trent so we can make good on our Patreon deal, and then we need to finish the Bond commentaries.
Yeah, it was in Goldfinger. It was in Goldfinger. It was a car that they crushed.
Yeah,
I know my Bond cars.
Yep, that's what it was, and I love that car because of suicide doors. It's been in lots of movies and TV shows and stuff over the years. It's just a very cool car.
Kendo.
You guys should know my answer because if you know me as well as you do, but
it's a Huey, right?
And say, yeah, that's it. That's right. All right, good. There's your answer. No, I want to fly an F-14 Tomcat. That's
there you go.
All I've ever wanted since I was about 4 years old. And if I can't do that, I at least want to fly a Huey.
Michael from Retro Blasting got to fly with some European military Air Force as a whatever. You can just go pay to do it. Down the road, Kendall will be so popular. You can just be like, hey, I want to fly this jet. And they'll let you.
That would be the happiest day of my life. I could go into a complete stall, flat spin like Maverick, who's going out to sea. And I could be on the verge of death, but I'm like, I'm in an F-14 Tomcat. I'm going happy. And that's all you like. Kendo flew his F-14. What happened? He got crashed and killed. Oh, he was happy.
Yeah, you're also going fast.
That's right.
Let's see. But yeah, mine is the 1964 Aston Martin DB5, Nathan. I love that car.
That's a damn beautiful car.
It was funny when I was leaving, I didn't have time to take a lot of my collectibles. So in my pocket, I shoved 2 Hot Wheels, an Aston Martin and the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
I mean, priorities.
Priorities, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was important, man. And now today, Dion, you'll like this. My Japanese Wolverine and Spider-Man showed up finally.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture off there. Let's see. Our friend Obi-Wan27883 also says, Daniel Craig being better than Disney Star Wars is like saying I would rather eat that smelly swamp mud over a bucket of turds.
God damn.
Oh my god.
That's harsh but fair.
Can you tell us how you really feel, Obi-Wan?
Seriously. My man went ham as fuck.
Well, I mean, you guys are spirit animals now because of your love of the Ford GT.
Damn right. He gets me.
I would, if I could buy one, I would.
I think, well, and also I think if you buy one, you have to have the fuel for it. I think it uses like jet fuel or something for that car.
It's worth it every drop of it. I will go broke driving a car from Pasadena to Long Beach. I don't care.
You might run into the little old lady from Pasadena while you're out there.
Buzz bomb, macho mobile. Let's see. TLJ Screwjob says, so when I get around to the movies with bad Bond movies like Octo and Moonraker, are they watched to complete the set, or is there good stuff in them? Well,
watch to complete the set.
Yeah.
You gotta watch.
He has no redeeming qualities to it.
Yeah.
I will say Moonraker does have some redeeming moments, but it's still a dog shit movie.
Yeah, minimal 2 watches for those movies is just all you need. Just like one to kind of be like, oh, this is crap, and one to kind of like make sure it's crap, kind of thing. So that's about it.
Yeah, I would, as a big Bond fan,
But
I'd skip them.
Octopussy is a one-shot.
Maybe. Would you? You know what, TLJ Screwjob? Let me just explain the plot to Octopussy. There's a clown, a fake Fabergé egg. Some shit happens in India. They get in a little tiny airplane, and then the bad guy gets kicked off and dies. The end.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And they're on a boat. I think there's a boat.
Oh, and Q rides in a fake alligator.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Got him.
And a guy eats an eyeball.
Oh well.
Our friend Swinging Cod, this is a message. We've established Cecil's rectal capacity. Let's move on. WCBS crew, I think Dion can prison wall at the most starships. Think on a Clone Wars cruiser, 3 YT-1300s, 4 B-wings, an X-wing, and 2 A-wings.
Damn.
Oh my god! In his present wallet?
Yeah,
That's a lot of stuff up Dion's ass.
Oh god!
Dion, I didn't know your beehole was that resilient, but good for you.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, boys.
gotta take a few for the team.
I think the best nerd insult.
Hold on. Would that make Dion a smuggler then?
Well, YT-1300s are the Millennium Falcons.
There you go.
They use it for smuggling. I didn't think I'd be smuggling myself.
You think I had a choice?
Even I get bored sometimes. Yeah, I'm fine. Even I get anal sometimes.
You think this is a game?
I'm not sorry for any of this.
Oh god.
Oh man, you should. A mean nerd insult would be to call someone's asshole a TARDIS because it's just never ending. Bigger
Right.
inside than the out.
Yeah, kind of like that show.
Yeah, it is. It is inevitable, like Thanos. Dean Hopesoffel says Craig has had the same problem as Pierce. His best movie was fantastic, GoldenEye being my all-time fave. Me too, Dean. And everything after has been decent to meh, but Brosnan's are far better than Craig's, minus Die Another Day. F that. Yeah, I actually, of all the super chats this evening, I agree with that. Like opinion-based ones, I agree with that one the most. GoldenEye is my all-time favorite. His Pierce Brosnan movies have been meh to pretty good. I would go from decent to meh, and then Die Another Day's dog shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still like he portrayed Bond though. I think he did a good job of it. So
He's over. We won't tell anybody. Over on Patreon, we did the power rankings, Kendo.
yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Was that an hour long?
About. Yeah, close to it.
So that was an hour, folks. If you want that, like the entire, and when we power rank stuff, we don't just talk about like oh, this, and that, and cut through. We give examples why, and it's fun. It's all bonus stuff. So if you want more of us, it's over there. McKinney90 says, so basically your story was watching Ghostbusters with Hans Zimmer horn sound effects blowing in your ear every minute.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kendo, could you give him one more example of how that went?
Oh god, this movie is terrible. Yeah, yeah, man, this movie sucks. Oh god, Jeff, turn off your microphone.
Kendo, that was back in the day when I didn't have a microphone with an off switch.
Right.
So it was a much simpler time when the podcast was, I don't know, less professional. Swinging Cod says, drinking stream tomorrow with 4 devil horns. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be out of town in Washington, D.C. I will be meeting up with one of our listeners, though. So you might, I don't know, we might talk to him for a little bit, do something on the channel. I don't know yet, but we are going to meet one of our listeners. So, yeah, if I'm ever going to be in one of your cities and you want to hang out, go grab a beer, shoot the shit, let me know. I'll be in Washington, D.C. and then Washington State. So there we go. That's my January. Swinging Cod also says, I think Muse's song Supremacy should be a Bond song. While singing a Swinging Cod, so does Jessie, and she'd probably high-five you because she played that for me once, and she goes, this should have been a Bond song. And I went, yeah, it should have been a Bond song. Guys, can you think of any other songs that should have been Bond songs?
Shit, off the top of my head. Shit.
No, I can't. I can't think of anything right now.
I'm trying, but I can't come. I'm not coming up with anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not right away.
Scatman by Scatman John should have been a Bond song.
There you go. That's it.
The Payback by James Brown, for sure.
Pusher Man. There you go.
That's just an awesome song.
I don't know.
Isn't that
I'm
from
coming up with things.
Huh?
Isn't that from Superfly?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
Pusher Man and Superfly, obviously.
I didn't know
Freddy's
Superfly.
Dead, I think, too. Yep, Freddy's Dead is in that movie, too.
Yep.
Shit, man, that's tough, man. That's God. Fuck, I cannot. Yeah, that's fucking tough, dude. La Vida Loca, Ricky Martin.
There you go.
Mamba number 5.
You shut your mouth. We do not invoke the name of Lou Bega on this podcast.
Oh, God.
Anything from the Beach Boys.
All right. Acid Blade 21 thinks that Rammstein should do the next Bond song.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that.
Do you remember how Mission Impossible had that Limp Bizkit song?
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I don't want Limp Bizkit. I want Rammstein to do a heavy version of the James Bond theme itself. No words, just dun, 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 like that.
I mean, there's
I mean,
probably
yeah, why
a
not?
heavy metal
You know,
version
let
of
him
it.
let him try it. Let him try and see what happens. I'm willing to to let them try it and see how it sounds. Probably sound like dog shit, but we can let them try.
I wouldn't mind a Bond song going back to the instrumentals because we had Dr. No from Russia with Love and On Her Majesty's Secret Service that had instrumental themes instead of words.
Yeah.
And people go, but From Russia with Love had a song, Jeff. Yes, it plays at the end credits, my friend, by Matt Monroe. But the opening credits have no words. So why not? That'd be kind of cool for Bond 25. Go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Just play the fucking James Bond theme. No one's going to...
Yeah, just do that. That'd
be awesome.
But no, they got to get Billie Eilish to do some weird rendition of something, and that'll be the Bond song. So, yay!
McKinney90 says, to be fair, if it was a female James Bond, the theme song would probably be Just a Girl by Gwen Stefani.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, that's awful, but true.
I'm just it's fucked up because she's 50 now, isn't she? That's
Is she really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That's fucking crazy.
Let's see how old is Gwen Stefani, just out of curiosity.
I'm just an old girl.
Yep, she's 50 on the dot, dude.
Everything's dried up on me.
No, I got that.
She looks fantastic for 50.
Dude,
Well,
all that
being
coke.
rich will do that for you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. She's looked the same since the Holler Back days.
She's
That's
great for 50 years old. God damn.
I guess it's all that Blake Shelton loving.
Yeah, I must do it.
Hey, when he cheated on his wife for you, fucking do it to it.
Not that we condone country music on this channel.
Damn right.
No, we do not like country music. No.
No.
Not gonna happen.
Let's see. John McMaster says candle for friends of Epstein smells like teen vagina.
Oh.
Damn, dude.
Now we're all gonna be killed. I mean, suicided.
Low hanging. McKinney90 says love the 05 and starting to love the 2017 Ford GT.
I did see the choice. I do like that a lot. Obviously, I'm a bigger fan of the 05, obviously, because I'm biased, but also, those move to the sleeker fronts and headlights. I'm not a huge fan of that, but the 2017 is one of the few instances of that I actually really enjoy.
Thunder Robots says I'll drive Kit and take control of your vehicles.
Kit's not AI
catch me
though.
first, bitch.
Yeah, Kit's not AI. Calm down.
Hey, Michael Knight and his Knight Industry Terrain Shredder. I don't know what the fuck it stands for, okay? I've seen Knight Rider like 5 times. I don't know. That's why I'm friends with the guy called Knight Rider Companion Online, all right? He knows on Knight Rider.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like I don't think he's AI, but I once again have never really watched the show, so I don't really know. But even then, it's just like it's 1980s AI. So what is it's gonna take him 3 hours to take over our cars? Then
Yeah.
what
We could have missiled
over
and bombed
dial up?
into
Come on
oblivion.
now.
I just would like to think that Nick and his Blackbird jet chasing his brother Superman is still going to be too fast for Kit.
Right.
They can't get a signal. They can't track us down.
Puerto Ricans are lazy, Michael.
Was that from Family Guy?
No, that's Dave Chappelle. The episode where it's racist, famous TV characters, and they were saying that Flipper was racist.
He wasn't?
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I heard Lassie
I
was a
don't-
real bitch, so I'm sure he's racist.
Get
oh,
out.
you ain't got
Get
no
out.
kids. What's with that dad joke?
Stop it.
I got the dad bod to go for it, so hey.
Hershey's a real bitch. Okay, Dad. Thank you. We got it.
Come on. Brian Leif's not here. I got to take one for the team.
Man.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody gets one. Swinging Cod says, I'm in DC. Where? Swinging Cod, shoot us an email, worldclassbs@mail.com, and I'll have Nick or I'll have Kendo forward it to me, and we can talk.
I'm busy.
Null White, thank you very much for your 2 super chats of $1 and $2. He says, Washington State, when and where? Next weekend, again, worldclassbs@mail.com, and we'll try to work out something. I know specific, like that Sunday, I will be busy, but like I said, email me and I'll look at the schedule and we'll see what's up. Because while I'm there, I will be working on videos, but I would love to try to meet some people across the country. Like I told you guys last year, 2020 is the year where we meet a lot of our fan base and, elevate the channel to something even bigger. We always talk about the community. So guys, let's meet the goddamn community.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, man.
We can have regional meetups.
I would like regional meetups of the Fandom Menace.
Yeah. Anybody in St. Louis want to meet up? Shoot us an email.
Yeah. So guys, is there anything else you'd like to cover tonight?
I got nothing, Kimosabi.
I think that's it.
Nah, I'm good.
I think I heard about more stuff about Jordan Peele taking over Candyman.
Do we want to say that for after hours?
We can if you want to. I mean, it's just kind of dog shit stuff, and I think it's horrible what he's doing. So
Well, let's talk about it here.
okay, yeah, he's taking it over. He's producing. He's not directing, and he's got some. I think he's got a female director right now lined up for it, and the Virginia Madsen's going to come back in some capacity for the soft sequel is what they're calling it now. So I don't know what's happening with that. So it's going to be a part 4, but not really part 4. So yeah, this is a remake, and we had 3 remakes fail last year. So I think this one's going to fail as well, regardless of him being attached to it. It's gonna, and the fact that I don't think Tony Todd's in it either. So it's going to be really weird. I don't know how that's going to go.
I won't watch it because I've only watched the original Candyman one time, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah, it's not that good. And even if you watch 2 and 3, they're just repeats of the first one. That's all it is.
What is Candyman? He's just like a black guy that got killed in the slave days, and they put bees in his mouth, and that's it.
Well, he got killed. He touched a white woman, And then they chopped off his hand, shoved a hook in it, because that's what they did. And then they poured honey on him so the bees would come and eat him and sting him and cause him to go into anaphylactic shock, and he died horribly. That's the story from, and you don't learn this story until the third movie is when they tell you the entire story of how he died. That's when you learn the whole story. The first one, they have like little flashes and things. The third movie is when like he goes back to Louisiana and you see the story happen, and it goes into like really in depth of like what happened with him. But that's the story basically.
Yeah, so that'll make a lot of money.
I don't know. I think with Jordan Peele's a name attached to it, and it'll probably make money. It won't make like billions of dollars, but it'll probably make a profit for sure. I hope it doesn't. I hope with it being a remake, people will just be like, and just not give two shits about it. So
I've already pre-ordered 85 tickets.
Yeah, I ran with Harriet to go see this movie.
I mean, Harriet, I bought 2 tickets for gladly. I wanted to support it, but this just seems like once again it's a horror remake, and people seem to not want remakes at all anymore, and that's why 3 of them failed last year. So I don't think it's a good idea anymore.
I don't either. I'm trying to think of a shittier remake. Oh yeah, Back to the Future.
The Force Awakens. That was a shitty remake.
Oh, one that already exists. I'm just trying to think of one that is a terrible idea.
Oh, yeah, I'll go with that one. And Beverly Hills Cop.
Don't say those words to me.
Top Gun would be a shitty remake.
Well, at least it's getting a sequel.
It's true. I am turgid.
It does look like a lot of fun, though. It does look like a lot of fun, so I'm down with it.
They better bring back Harold Faltermeyer.
Also,
I'd like to think that they will. I have to think that they will have the Top Gun theme and anthem and everything.
Also, Bad Boys 3 is coming out this weekend, so
which how many ads have you seen for that?
So many. Oh my god, I've seen so many ads all over Facebook and Twitter, all over my stuff, like all the time it's coming up.
I have seen like maybe 2 commercials.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, I'm definitely gonna go watch it, but I'm not gonna have very high hopes for it.
It's gonna flop.
It is, and I feel bad for that, especially with them releasing it in January. They obviously didn't have any faith in it, but man, like they just I don't know. I hope
it's a 20 years too late sequel.
I agree. I mean, I hope it's fun. Like at least How Bad Boys 2 was fun. I hope it's like that. But I don't know. I don't think it will be. But
stranger things have happened. It could turn out to be the greatest movie we've ever watched.
It could be.
It might be.
It could be. I want it to be.
Yeah. I mean, so far I watched Underwater in 1917. I'm very happy with movies so far. I did finally get to go watch Ford versus Ferrari. That was awesome. But I hope Bad Boys is good. That's all I hope for. I just hope it's good. It's a good time. Yeah, we'll see.
Dr. Coffin says, I don't have Stealing Solo yet. Should I be worried? Well, the fulfillment company forgot. I don't know what that is, but I dealt with this fulfillment company. So you'll get your book. I'm going to come back this weekend, and I'm going to take care of the new version for everyone that had damaged books, and you will get one. So, Dr. Coffinails, you have a direct line to me. I'll make sure that your information, it was sent directly to the printer, but we'll take care of that for you. And Swinging Cod says, Howard the Duck, a scene-for-scene remake.
Worst ideas.
By
Nightmare Fuel.
By Tim Burton. There you go.
Oh, that actually might be good.
No,
Carter's going to be in it randomly.
No.
Yeah, it's Howard the Duck.
That's extra. Carter. That's extra Nightmare Fuel. Then, if that's
no, it's Timothy. It's Tim Burton, right? But the girl, Ali Sheedy, is Helena Bonham Carter, and the duck isn't like an animation or an AI or any type of CG duck. It's Johnny Depp.
Just regular Johnny Depp
costume and a duck costume. I will watch that. It'll be awful. It'll be terrible. It will be complete nightmare fuel. But I would gladly go watch it.
I mean, he was a Native American in what is it, Lone Ranger?
Yeah, he's more Native American than people running for office. It's great.
By the way, you do realize that was Leah Thompson, not Ali Sheedy, right?
Whatever.
Fair enough, but she isn't Back to the Future, so show respect.
Yeah, I'll give her credit for that. And I watched her throw out the first pitch of the Cardinals game once. I thought she was from St. Louis after that. I was like, oh, sweet, she's from St. Louis. And I looked, I was like, she's not from St. Louis. Damn it.
I'd be disappointed.
But Hucklebuck.
You've been flim-flammed.
You've been flipped.
Yeah, 15-year-old me was pissed.
Oh man.
Hey, Dion, Supernatural's on.
Depends which season we talking here. You might want to turn the channel.
Yeah, if it's after the Leviathans, don't worry about it. Then just turn it off.
Sure. Just turn it off.
Noted.
Yeah.
Sweeney Cod says big fucking eyes, but a nice fucking fish.
Funniest part of that whole movie.
Oh my god, he got so high. It was hilarious. Once again, hope part 3 is good.
God, please be good.
Don't know.
Please be good.
Yeah, I'll probably go watch it like Saturday or something. So you guys will get like a voice message from me after I'm done watching it.
I love when we send each other voice messages.
Me too, bros.
Well, if you want Sunday, I can live voice message you during the game.
Deal. I want to hear. I'm hoping that the Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Dude, if you guys could have had a window like a Truman Show type shit for me on last Sunday for 3 hours, you would have got to see me go from pretty optimistic pre-gaming, drinking some mules, having a good time, to just completely just melting down, going, God fucking damn it. I'm not surprised, but God fucking damn it, to running around my living room like a, celebration prick. It was awesome. I was in full celebration prick mode.
Well, I watched the game somewhere and I thought of you. So
Thank you.
Dude, every time I hear the Pointer Sisters song, I think of what is it, Beverly Hills Cop 2, and the scene where they're chasing the damn dump truck.
I'll be
That's
there.
one, but
No, that's number 2. The dump truck and the
right. I'm thinking of the cigarette truck. My bad.
no, not the cigarette truck. Yeah. Because every time I think I think of you guys every time, because I was just like, man, this is a great scene. I wish I was watching it with you guys.
We've never watched Beverly Hills Cop all together.
No, we haven't.
We
but
haven't.
it's like, because like we always talk about the movie and things like that. So I'm just like, man, it's like, I just every time I hear that song, I think of Beverly Hills Cop 2. It's like,
Yeah, Nick and I watched Beverly Hills Cop 2 in Chicago.
Yeah, we did.
Dion and I were probably sleeping our drunk off.
Yeah, so that's the closest we've ever been to watching a Beverly Hills Cop movie together. Nick and I semi awake, very drunk in one room, and you and Dion sleeping in another room next to us.
Oh man.
Finally, Dean Holtzhoffel says, loved watching my Flyers beat the Blues last night.
I'm happy for you. That doesn't make us a rival team.
I understood that reference.
Thank you.
So, guys, let's close out this show. This was a great episode. We had a lot of fun. I don't know if YouTube sent out the notifications. We had a little lower turnout than usual, but still a fantastic time. I just had a great time. That's all I can say. I fucking love this show. So, Dion,
Yes.
anything you want to say before we go?
I love you guys.
Kendo?
Jeff, turn off your microphone.
Nick, why don't you plug your shit before we go?
All right, let me screen share this shit. Here we go. There we go. I will be at Days of the Dead convention in Atlanta, February 7th to the 9th. I will be at a table getting drunk, selling a movie. I'll be selling this movie here. Mother News presents Once Upon a Nightmare. We've worked hard on it. It's been a labor of love. It's been a good goddamn time. We're editing it right now. We're almost done with it. You can pre-order your copy at the table. We put up a teaser trailer right here. The teaser trailer will also post all over the WCBS's social media as well the next couple of days. So you guys can watch that. Let's get that view. Let's get the views of that trailer up as far as we can, please. Just share it, blow it up, have it go everywhere, have it go viral if possible. That'd be really good. But help us out. Help get awareness out about the movie. I think the Kickstarter is going to start here soon as well for the movie. So that'll be fun. Also, remember, Jeff makes a cameo in it. So, you guys should totally see that.
Am I in the teaser trailer?
No, you're not. Because we didn't want to allude to it too much. So, but you're in the
being
movie.
tied up is in the teaser trailer, though.
Do what now?
Nick being tied up is in the teaser trailer, though.
That's true. That is very true.
Which I got super hard watching, bro.
I'm happy for you. I don't know.
You're about to be.
But yeah, so yeah, the trailer's there. I'll be at Days Ed convention. Come see me. Say hi. We'll drink together. We'll have a good time. Also, here's a movie. Here's a poster. go ahead and look up a Buckshore Productions. Give them some love. Go check out their stuff. All the links are on their Facebook. So, yeah, that's all I got.
I guess we should also again announce that in 2 months' time we'll be at Horror Hound Cincinnati. Everything's been taken care of. Everything's been taken care of. We have all the booths set up. We're gonna try to have a surprise, Kendo. You know what it is.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
That's the surprise. No, but we got a couple big things planned for that time of the year. So you don't want to miss out on any of the videos because we'll make subtle announcements throughout the year, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And there'll be something at the convention you may be able to only get at the convention. So do with that information what you will. We know Tim Riggs will be there because he'll bring the Don Julio.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we love the Don Julio. It's so good.
We love the Don. We love the Don.
Yes, we do.
We just like alcohol in general.
That's true.
Yeah, but the Don has special powers.
It does.
He's
I'm
like
sure it does, but I mean, just booze in general. You want to win our affections? Bring us booze.
He's like the Jeb. Okay, the Jeb awakens.
Yeah, if you walk up and say, "Kendo, here's a bottle of Jaeger," I will be your friend.
Tim Riggs, Booze Fairy. That's
right.
That's really what it is. Because every time he comes by the table, brings at least 2 bottles. Every time.
He's like, "Here, I got these 2 fists of tequila for you guys." Oh, thank you. You want to drink it now? Yes.
And a purple dildo for Dion.
That's right.
John McMaster says, director talking to titties? I guess that's what your movie, Nick. Did the director talk to titties?
Yeah, that happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's lots of titties in the movie. We had to do many takes with them of, at very, we had to do them at close ups, super close ups, wide, ultra wide, to make sure we get, all the titty and its greatness. So this way, we don't miss any of it, and we can all cut it together later and make sure that, you don't miss one thing. So,
well, there we go, folks. So this concludes another episode of World Class Bullshitters. I will be back with a video tomorrow. Make sure you guys check out our Star Wars and our Marvel video talking about Morbius and the MCU. Didn't really talk about it tonight because I guess not a lot of people are talking about it in general. But yeah, Morbius ties the MCU proper to the Sonyverse. So that's why Michael Keaton is in the new Morbius movie. So all the Spider-Man stuff, I guess, is together. Yay. But be on the lookout for Ghostbusters. That'll be fun to talk about. And, keep it locked into World Class Bullshit. We'll be back all the time with all the content. So, yeah, right, Dion? All the content?
All the content.
There we go. So, folks, thank you for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, be excellent to each other.
.com